out of apartment 5B.
You're now tuned into the Apartment 5B podcast, where we chop it up about hip-hop, R&B, sports, love and life. Hosted by Kill.
What's good? You are tuned in to Apartment 5B podcast hosted by your man Kill. I got my squad with me. In effect, as always, I got my brother Tone from North Carolina. What's going on, bro?
What's good, fellas? Everything's love.
Yo, I got my brother Easy Money. If y'all don't know, you need to tap in. Easy, tell him about everything you got cooking up, bro.
Drug Money out now. You know the vibes. Kill, it's always a pleasure, brother.
That's it. We ain't gonna talk about the freestyle. We ain't gonna talk about.
I wasn't trying to make it about me, but we.
I want talk about that freestyle, man. Talk your shit.
Oh, you talking about? Oh yeah. Check out. I went to Disrespect Radio. Shout out my man Nems, and I smoked that shit, man. That's it. That shit is out now. It's on YouTube. Follow me. Subscribe to my YouTube channel too. I'm at Easy Money ST everywhere.
No doubt. I got my brother Ill Fam. This dude always starting some shit, and it don't change the night either. He already, before we hit record, this shit already got started. Fam, what's going on, bro?
Hey man, IllFam79 on your social media choice, at Black Wrestling on all social media, Potty Piper Pod, Pod Sham Pod, God's favorite podcast, all that. You know what's going on?
Yo, this dude be having the illest. I can't fuck with this dude. I just be like, what's good is Kill. This nigga got 18 aliases and know how to spit that shit. I got my brother Rel in the building. What's going on, bro?
What's good? Happy to be here. What's up, fellas?
What's up, bro?
What's happening?
Good.
Y'all already know me. Let's jump right into it. Today we are talking about revisionist history. We are talking about, from being on social media, you see things that are said. And now somebody could say, yo, Kill is really just people with horrible takes. But here's the problem with horrible takes. People follow them. You know what I mean? So when you give a horrible take, it can be seen as facts, and it could be seen as truth. And I mean, I think that's the hard part with hip hop. When I think about history, I think about real American history, like being in high school, learning history, everything like that. And it's been put in these books and even though a lot of that history ain't even fact, you know, that's been whitewashed and everything to gloss up certain people or whatever. The thing is with social media, you have all these different outlets and people's ideas of what is what. So today we're going to be talking about what are some of the craziest things that you have seen on Twitter, social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you lie your head in the social media world. What are some of the craziest things that you have seen and heard? I'm going to set off right this, because this is what started a couple of weeks ago. I posted the episode of Apartment 5B where we was talking about the Warriors episode. So we were saying, what 5 MCs would you want if you was in the Bronx, had to get back to Coney Island to make it home safely? You had to pick a leader, a negotiator, and I think it was 6 people, and then you had to pick 4 boys who you felt could rumble. And somebody picked Shaq. And I was like, well, I apologize, good brother, because I said the word MCs. You had to pick MCs. And fam, help me, because I think you chimed in on this. One of them was a wrestler.
Oh, John Cena.
And I'm just like, whoa, come on, y'all. We disrespecting the name MC now. Like, Shaq is not an MC. This nigga was a basketball player who wanted to rap, and that is fucking different than being an MC. And I think that's another problem that we have. Easy, I'm glad you're here. Rel, I'm glad you're here. There has to be some respect put on certain titles. You know what I mean? Like, I can't walk into a room and be like, yeah, I got my doctorate degree knowing I only got my bachelor's, because I didn't go through what I had to go through to get that doctorate. You know what I mean? I feel like everybody just throws that word around. But this is what was told to me. And for a lot of these people, I actually got their ad. But this board told me Shaq went toe-to-toe with Big on You Can't Stop the Rain.
I think it's okay to have that opinion. I
see, here you go. No, it's not.
I disagree with it. I disagree with it. However,
it's not okay to have that opinion because that's not a
Why
fact.
not?
Fact did not go toe to toe with this nigga.
but feelings ain't facts.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Keep that feeling shit somewhere else.
But that's
We
what
talking
it is.
about
Like,
facts.
if he liked, I don't even remember what he was talking.
Yo, but here's the
all
thing. But here's the thing. I don't even know if Shaq wrote that shit. For all I know, somebody else wrote that shit. The moral to the story is toe to toe for me means something like Brooklyn's Finest with Jay and Big. That's toe to toe.
Yeah.
Toe to toe is I Love the Dough with Big and Jay. That's toe to toe. You know what I mean? Toe to toe is On with Beans and Jay. Shaq did not go toe to toe with Big. You know what I mean? But now what happened? But now what happens is in Tone, you know, you got the shout out too from this guy on Twitter. He was like, "Yo, me and Tone are the only two people, or I think it was three of us. We're two of the people that he respects our history and when we talk about hip hop." But then what happens is now I got young boys following who follow me talking about Yo Kill. So Shaq went to no, he didn't. Like, let's stop this right now. No, he didn't go toe to toe with fucking Big. So that is one of mine that just fucking threw me for a loop. And I'm gonna give another one, then we're gonna move on. Cause I got a whole section in my iPad called Dumb Shit on Twitter. So I've got pages of shit. This is another thing. This was from Bruh BRUHJAA 405.
You ain't calling them out like you can.
I'm calling people out because y'all say this shit. You getting called out. This nigga said, "I love KRS, but he couldn't handle Nelly." That Prime KRS-One could not beat Prime Nelly in a battle. Now I also know what happens on Twitter is there's a lot of age differences. You know what I mean? Somebody was telling me Chris Cross was nice. I said, nigga, when Jump came out, I was 18 years old. If you were 8 years old, I totally understand you thinking Chris Cross was nice.
Right.
I know, fam. I'm sure you thought Chris Cross was nice.
And I was 17.
I know you did. But here's the problem. This is where the age comes into play. This is something that Easy was talking about earlier. Who you talking to makes a huge difference. Because it matters so much. Because again, if you were 8, I am sure you thought Chris Cross was the shit. But while you were playing Jump, nigga, I was playing Let Me Ride by Dre. So we are in totally
I had to sneak and listen to Dre. I had to sneak.
I'm 18.
Both, for the record.
This nigga is 8. So I just want to put that out there that those were two of the crazy things that I saw, that Nelly could beat KRS and that Shaq went toe to toe with Big.
Can I? I'm sorry.
Go right ahead, because I know you want to start some shit. Go right ahead, bro.
At the time, KRS was probably my favorite rapper. Here's the problem with that beef. That beef was the nigga with the hands and the nigga that just he look at the crowd and wave and got some jewelry. All he got to do is stick his fist out one time and jab the nigga who's already looked at as the godfather. You know, I Am Hip Hop and all that, and the School of Hip Hop and all that, or Temple of Hip Hop. When Nelly just takes a jab, perception a lot of times will, quote unquote, win these battles for niggas. So while us, the heads, was like, this nigga, this nigga Nelly trash, which I don't know if there's a rapper that I hate more than Nelly, personally. But when people walk around and say Nelly won because he shot. He didn't just lay down. And it was, because it's weird, if you watch the Beef movie, I think it was the second Beef, and they talked about it, and a lot of folks thought that Nelly won. So, like,
when folks in what generation though?
They wasn't
generation. We didn't.
They wasn't talking to youngins though. They wasn't talking to youngins.
I've been talking hip hop for over 41 years, and I've never talked to a real person in real life, face to face, and heard anybody ever say, even bring up Nelly's name. Period. Number one. And then to say that he beat KRS. Hell no.
Who talks about that beef?
I know nobody. I totally forgot about the fucking beef because it was irrelevant to me. I didn't even. There are just certain things where it's like this whole Joey Badass shit trying to get at Kendrick. Nigga, Kendrick is selling out stadiums. This nigga's not thinking about you, Neek. Go back and handle what's going on with Rock and King. Like
not Neek.
Yeah, Neek, go back.
You can't do that. You can't do that because
why?
It's the same. Because Nelly could have said that to KRS. I sold 10 million albums. You're struggling to sell.
No. I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying it like you can't.
Outside. Anybody can get it. You outside. It don't matter who you are. That's MCing.
But here's the problem. But that's MCing to a certain point, easy.
No,
like
that's it.
Period. Okay. Well, that's not MCing to me because here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing. Hold tight. If I'm throwing a shot, if me and Rel are battling, and you decide to jump in, nigga, ain't nobody paying you no fucking attention. Nigga, Poet jumped. This is what people don't even remember.
Shout out
Poet jumped into the BDP MC Shan beef. Scott, you know what Scott LaRock reply was for Poet? Nigga, I got a college fucking degree. You think I'm replying to this nigga? And that was in 1987, during the height of hip hop. Nigga, everybody who jump into a beef to make a name for yourself, because let's keep it a buck too. Niggas is doing this to make a name for yourself. That to me, and again, to me, that's some sucker shit. To me, that's some sucker shit. You can't throw your name in the ring just because you want to try to rumble a boy.
Listen, everything starts from somewhere, and it's usually out of nowhere. Every rap beef.
Well, that's the thing. Man. You don't have to get on through a rap beef. That's the fucking problem. Niggas trying to take the shortcut.
Conversation. I agree with that.
Yeah,
but let me ask you a question.
That's the shortcut.
Let me ask you all a question, right? Because in regards to Nelly, winning, which I've never really encountered that, like a majority opinion of that. But do you guys feel like Nelly dissing KRS on a Freeway record gave it validity to some people? Like maybe they took it as Freeway code, because Philly's in the building, right?
I like that.
Did Freeway, because at the end of the day, I remember Freeway was kind of debunking it. Oh, I ain't co-signed that shit. Niggas is grown men, but it's your record, fam. You got the final say. Do you guys feel like if Freeway, as a respected MC, Freeway is Freeway, and they was like, okay, this kind of gives it validity. Do you guys feel that way?
Rel, what you think?
Probably, because I know for me, I didn't like that it was on the Freeway record. I'm like, Free, why you to me, I'm like, if it's on your record, then you co-sign. Like, if I got beef with Kill and it's on site, and Easy, you standing next to Kill and y'all chilling, you might get hit. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So I felt like I wasn't feeling that it was on Freeway's song. Like, because if I was Freeway, he wouldn't have dissed KRS One on my song. You deal with that.
You do feel like it gave it kind of
I do.
Him a bit of validity.
I do.
Yeah, I just saw a clip today of
here's the crazy part. Hold tight, fam, for a sec. So that's where the beef started? I didn't even know where it started from. So Nelly took shots at KRS on a Freeway beat? Why is Freeway on a song with
felt the way about him saying that was the response. Because I'm tired of niggas saying that what's real hip hop. That's and it be most of niggas when they album flop. But KRS, Nelly had the record I Am Number One.
Yeah.
And KRS felt the way about that.
Yeah.
And had a dart, not a joint, a dart. Yeah. And then the reply was, "I'm tired of these niggas being real hip hop." And they was singing, goofy nigga. I'm sorry.
I didn't even know it was on a free joint.
My apologies.
Yeah.
You know what?
No, but I agree with you, fam. Yeah. You got something?
I'm not mad at Nell. Freeway might have looked at it like, you know what? He could have left that shit off, but it's hip hop. Let them say what they gonna say, whatever. I guess Freeway lucky that KRS didn't go at both of their ass. But I'm not mad. It's a record. It's hip hop. I'm not mad at Nell. Nell said what he said. You know what I'm saying? Now, same way with this whole thing with okay, you a dope MC, but everybody gonna come at you. If you're at the top, you Jay-Z, you Nas, you whoever, you're gonna have motherfuckers go throw a lot of shit. You cannot answer everybody. Because some people do want, like The Game, for example, did a 9-minute song against fucking Eminem. I'm ignoring that dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? So no, you cannot address everybody who throws shots at you, MC or not. For Kendrick, for example, I'm on a world tour. If I need to get at Joe at some point, I'll do that. I'll probably do it the same way Biggie did on Life After Death. He didn't address everything. I know you're MC. Let me say this real quick. At one point, Ghostface, Raekwon, Boot Camp Click, all these niggas took shots at Biggie. What did he do? I wait till Life After Death, and I address y'all niggas on Kick in the Door, because I'm not giving all y'all niggas shine one-on-one. I'm not doing that. Not because I think I can't blast y'all niggas, but I'm not doing it. I'm gonna get same way Drake did on Family Matters. I'm not gonna talk about everybody on 10 different songs. I blaze on y'all in one song. I'm not giving all y'all shine like that. I'm not doing that.
Easy. I'm gonna come to you in that realm. But Tone, one of my favorite Jay's lines is, and all you other niggas throwing shots at Jigga, you only get half a bar. Fuck y'all niggas. Yeah. I'm not. Certain people don't even deserve it. You know what I mean? Here's no. Like yo, rumble these 5 niggas first, and if you come out on top, to me, it's like fighting. I can't just pop up on the heavyweight champion talking shit, nigga. You gotta work your way to fuck up.
Hey, Nature did a damn diss song. Nature did a damn diss song with 3 different beats. Dissing Nas, what Nas like? That nigga. I got Jay-Z to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Jim Jones throwing shots, dude. I got Jay-Z to deal with. You know what I'm saying? I'm not wasting my time on these niggas, man. You know, Drake Kendrick, for example, took down an industry titan. I know niggas don't like Drake, but the reality is Drake been one of the biggest MCs in the history of hip-hop for like 15 years.
And he got body.
I know, but it don't matter. But my point is this. Kendrick took down an industry titan, right? And now I'm on a world tour. I don't give a fuck about Joey Badass or anybody else on the East Coast who ain't even selling no records right now. Now listen, dog. I'm on a world tour every night. Every night I'm traveling.
I'm with you. Easy.
I'm not taking no time out for Joey Badass while I'm on tour. For what? I don't even have no issue with this nigga.
I'm out.
No, bro. Come on.
No. Go ahead. Easy.
Listen,
don't do that bullshit, Easy. Don't do that bullshit, Easy.
First of all,
this is my fault.
Tone, I watched you become a Kendrick Lamar stan in real time.
You didn't. I
love the dedication. It's okay. What I'm trying to say is this, right?
No, you didn't.
Listen, this is the thing. It's not about who's on whose level book. Why is it that Meek Mill was on the clock when he was on tour to respond to Drake, and now Kendrick goes, "Oh, he's on tour. He don't got to respond."
Well, hold on. Let me get that. Let me get that. No, it's not about moving the goalposts. Meek and Drake were beefing. Meek and Drake
were beefing. They had a beef.
We're gonna talk about facts.
Okay.
That's all I do. I don't care about feelings. We're gonna talk about facts. Facts was Meek and Drake were beefing. That was the beef. Kendrick and Joey Badass ain't beefing, nigga.
They are now.
You wouldn't.
You want to hear
Hold on. Time out though. You gotta be fair though. This whole beefing, Kendrick shot at people that wasn't shooting at him too. He started shooting at people first that wasn't shooting at him. This is how all this stuff started. Like that Control verse, he shot at people and no one was shooting at him.
Because niggas is phony. Because niggas is phony, and a lot of them dudes sat on their hands. A lot of these dudes sit on their hands. Let me just. A lot of guys sit on their hands and feel away, and then if that relationship for them at that time, they need to keep it cool. Then they gonna sit on their hands and like, I don't like yo, but I'm not gonna rap on the record. A lot of these is old feelings.
Let me explain something to y'all. I feel like the same way Tone and everybody was talking about levels with classics. Here's my thing. Kendrick has been a top tier MC for the past 15 years. Okay? Well, thank you. Facts. He has been a top tier MC. Top 3 probably for the past 15 years. Him throwing those shots on Control, to me, it's not about me trying to get my name out there, nigga. My name is here. My name is my name. I'm already here. My beef with niggas like Joey Badass is like, nigga, nobody is talking to you. Nobody said your name. Nobody poked you.
Nobody was talking to Kendrick.
But Easy, listen to what I'm saying is my problem.
Why?
Bro, you're not. I quit. No, I'm not gonna quit because my fucking.
Let me say this real quick. Let me say something easy real
No,
quick.
no. Stop for a second. No, stop. Tone. Stop for a second. The difference. Listen to what I'm saying. The difference to me is Joey is trying to do this to further his career. Kendrick wasn't doing this to further his career because he was the fucking best already. He was top 3. How do I? Did we not just? So Kendrick, it hasn't been Kendrick, Cole, and Drake for the past 15 fucking years.
We're talking about the further in the career part.
Fuck, what? I'm already top 3. The fuck else?
Control didn't do nothing for Kendrick's career. Control didn't do nothing.
Joey, here's the thing. Joey,
I wouldn't. He got a lot of buzz from it.
That's a moment. That was a moment.
But listen to what I'm saying. If it's Marlo, Prop Joe, and fucking Avon, they're the top 3 fucking drug dealers. Nigga, this ain't Little Man. Nigga, they're the top 3. You don't have to do anything to move forward. I'm already top 3, if not number 1.
But hold on, let's talk about this though. Let's talk about how.
But easy, I just want you to understand that that's my only problem with Joey is that Joey is trying to move up.
Listen, I'm gonna show you how similar it is. Kendrick on Control, on Kendrick on Control. I'm the king of New York. Nobody knew that was a corrupt bar. You know how the whole shit started? When Joey said too much West Coast dick licking, and everyone came throwing shots at him. No one even knew it was a Jay-Z bar. That's where it stems from. You know that, right?
Right, but what I'm saying is easy. Where does Joey Badass? If we're saying top MCs, where's Joey?
He's not on par with Kendrick.
No, I'm just saying. Give me a number. Top 30, top 40, top 50.
But you know, we talking era.
No. But wait a second. Right now, we're in the past 20 years because Joey I've never been a fan, to be honest with you. I've heard some shit, never really moved. But
he's bumped himself up a few notches though for keeping it real.
No. What I'm saying is this, easy. Right now, let's keep it a buck. In 2025, we ain't even had no good albums yet. I don't even need to do an album show for half a year because what the fuck are we going to talk about?
Terrible year.
So right, outside of yours, I apologize. I'm not talking about you. What I mean by is just as long as Joey's been out with the whole time of Joey Badass, would you say he's a top 20 MC of the past 15 years?
For the young guys, I say he has an argument.
Well, not young guys. I don't speak for the young guys. I'm talking about niggas like us. Is he above Conway? No. Benny? No.
Well, if you're putting it that way, Kendrick's not a top 3 MC to me then. If we're not talking just his generation, Kendrick's not a top 3 MC to me. 4 or 5 MC.
Okay, well let's Tone. This is why I can't have you on the goddamn show. We ain't even gonna get to the goddamn question.
Let me address something real quick. Let me say something real quick.
Go ahead, Tone.
Let me say something real quick. I gotta shut up. No, this show is about revisionist history. So I gotta address Easy real quick because he's supposed to know better on something. He just said something about some Kendrick Lamar Stan shit. So with revisionist history, if you go in Twitter and put my name in with Kendrick, I've been singing Kendrick praise since Overly Dedicated. Anybody can go in there. I can't let you slide on that bullshit, dog. You don't play that. You put my shit in there. I've been rocking with Kendrick Lamar since before Good Kid, Mad City. You know what I'm saying? I said Good Kid, Mad City was this generation's Illmatic. I said this shit years and years ago. So some of my tweets now about Kendrick,
I like that.
Start going viral. That ain't my fucking fault. I talk about him the same way I talk about him when I had 200 fucking followers.
I respect the dedication, man.
No. That's what I've been doing to any MC. So I can't help a lot of people pick on to some of my tweets. Joey Badass shit. Joey came out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying, from his acting career, and I like Joey since we was a teenager. He came out from his acting career, says his little shit. He's trying to get his buzz on because we just found out he got an album about to come out. Not mad at him. It's promotion, dog. But again,
what I'm saying is everyone missed what I'm saying, just like Kendrick on Control.
It's promotion, dog.
Don't need no buzz.
It ain't the same thing.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about intent. You guys are talking about the intent. What I'm saying
Joey's intent is to get promotion.
Hold on.
Exactly.
That's no. Time out. What I'm saying is that a lot of this shit stem, right? Kendrick ruffled a lot of feathers on Control.
But Joey name was never mentioned though.
Hold on.
That shit was 7 years ago.
Hold on. What I'm saying is that because he said I'm the king of New York. That year, right. I was at where they did that BET cipher. I was there.
What year is that, Easy?
Soul was there. Schoolboy Q was there. This is in New York. Kendrick Lamar was not there. Guess why? Okay. Anyhow, So what I'm saying is,
Why?
you should. Anyway,
Why wasn't he there?
No.
because he said I'm the king of New York, and it rubbed people the wrong way. But
You
people
think the
didn't
niggas?
understand.
It was a lot of them. Joel Ortiz had a response. Nigga.
Yo, but and here's
I'm
the
trying to
thing:
say is
everybody
this,
had everybody had a
What I'm
response
trying
to
to say is this,
Control,
though.
and can't nobody name one fucking song because it was
Nobody
all
cared.
blocked.
What I'm
None of
trying to
that
say
shit
is
was dope.
It's intent. Kendrick said I'm the king of New York, and niggas got mad.
So Joey had like 10 years to respond.
Like on the corrupt verse, right?
Right?
And it's the same thing with Joey. Everyone came attacking Joey because he said too much West Coast dick licking, not knowing that was a Jay-Z bar.
Okay. Even
I'm
the
saying is
moral of the story.
either one of them,
more-
neither one of them was there.
The moral of the story for me, just to let you know why I'm not moving the goalposts, is I don't like niggas trying to jump into some shit just to promote your album. Now, if you got a problem with if Kendrick said something, now that's just me. Because here's the thing: is being supposed like Tone was saying, is Jay gonna respond to every single person throwing shots? No, it's a waste of fucking time.
Okay.
And to me,
Nas did it.
Nas did what?
Nas
Responded to
didn't.
every single person? No, he
No, he
didn't.
didn't.
Hit the
Oh, no,
freeway.
niggas was throwing shots at Nas.
Run
I
through.
think he did, bro.
He
Even
responded to
freeway,
every.
He did it.
Hey,
He
you
did
get
it all
on
in
it.
one or
No.
two songs.
I'm talking about a whole song. I'm not saying
Right.
a line. I'm talking about responding to a whole song. And again, if you got an issue with me, then we can battle. We can do whatever. I give you a great example. Rel, your man hit me one day and was like, "Yo, Kill, we should battle." No, it wasn't your man. That was something else. Some other nigga was like, "Kill, we should battle podcast." And I was like, "The fuck are you talking about, my nigga? Battle podcast? Like,
I hope nobody I was friends with said that.
Nah. And I was like, battle podcast. I mean, what you want to do? We want to go. You want to go knowledge for knowledge, nigga? You gonna fucking lose, dog. Like, I'm just fucking letting you know, dog. And he was like, yeah, you right. It don't make no sense. And it's just kind of like, am I supposed to be like, okay, I got to battle some random nigga because he called me out on Twitter and says battle the podcast? I don't think I have to do that every time. Even if Apartment 5B was the dopest hip hop podcast, do I got to battle everybody who got a podcast to keep that title?
Kendrick don't gotta respond. He don't have to. And is Joey on Kendrick level? No. Does Kendrick have to respond? No. But does that mean Joey doesn't have to come at him? No. They can all be right.
Hey, y'all
Well,
remember
not
when
me.
Joe Budden-
Well, here's the thing. Again, it goes. I always tell folk this: for every aspect of life, it's about how you were raised. The way Philly raised me was, you mind your fucking business, or you may get punched in your fucking mouth. So jump out there if you want, and you may get punched in your fucking mouth. So the way I was raised was, if fam got a beef with you, Easy, I'm out of it. That's between y'all two. I'm not jumping my name in it to try to get a promotion because I got a new album coming out. But again,
So I
that's
saw-
just how I was raised.
Hey, Kill, I saw a clip today, right?
With Kendrick's boy, they're all
So-
cool.
I saw a
I mean,
wild
it's
clip today
all-
that I had never seen before. It was an older Buster interview, right?
Okay.
And Buster was talking about how he had a joint with Big. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
I
and
guess
he
the
took-
first day in the studio, he didn't make
he
it the
took it
second
off.
day. And he had the Pac record ready. And the crazy part that hit me was when Buster was spitting the Pac, I mean the big bars.
Big.
I was like, oh, them big bars. He not lying, because I don't believe no rappers. He said, you know what? I said, nah, Big, you are big. You are big. And these niggas told Big, like, I can't do it because it looked like I'm standing next to you with him. And I feel like, Buster, you probably should have stood next to him. But however, because I feel like the world was robbed of a great diss. But I feel like, if a nigga is sitting with you, you gonna get lit up.
And here's the thing, same thing. When Calm wanted to go back at Cube, he went to Preem first. And Primo was like, nah, Cube, my man, I can't be in the middle of that. And then
He
that's
said,
how
I do
well, no, Grap said that they was at the crib. They said everybody was at the basement, and some shit popped off on Rap City, and Grap was like, yo, niggas went in the basement and got busy and came up with the bitch in you. But to go back to Easy's point about the Freeway Nelly piece, yeah, it is kind of like Buster said, nah, man, you can't diss Pac on my song. You know what I mean? So I am kind of intrigued. Number one, why did Freeway make a song with Nelly? I feel like Eddie Murphy's Pop. Like, why you hanging out with Danny Terrio? I had no idea Freeway and Nelly had a fucking song together.
And that's why
I had no idea that even existed. I had no idea that existed. So that would be my first question.
Nelly sold mad records, fam.
That's it.
Oh, Nelly megastar.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Yeah.
Fam, give me something that you have seen on Twitter or social media that has changed, is trying to change the history of hip hop.
Big Boy is not an amazing MC because
Jesus Christ.
niggas keep, because of the esteem of 3 Stacks, niggas act like Big Boy ain't dope. Niggas act like Big Boy is Marty Jannetty. You have to cut that out. You know what I mean? You got to cut that out. This nigga, first of all, he went bar for albums with a lot of you niggas GOAT.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They not the Rockers. Them niggas is the Legion of Doom. These niggas is neck to neck out here. It ain't no, you know what I mean? They need each other. It's why we don't have an Andre solo dolo John. Like, until Andre comes out with that solo dolo joint, wow, we know the elite level of penmanship. As an MC, we gotta say, for me personally, that them niggas is neck and neck because all their best projects was together.
Bro, I'm so glad you said this. I don't know if you guys saw. I've been speaking this shit for the last about 6 months daily, posting all this shit about Big Boy, because I'm listening, like me and Kill are pretty much the same age. And in the mid-90s when Outkast dropped, nobody was sitting there at that time talking about, oh man, Andre's way better than Big Boy. Everybody was like, yo, Outkast dope, period. It wasn't no, and certain songs, Big Boy shine, certain songs, Andre shine, but nobody was looking at this big-ass gap and this whole, this fantasy about Andre 3000 and all this, he's the GOAT type shit. No, everybody, Big Boy was getting busy on them albums, going bar for bar. Matter of fact, there were certain songs where if you go back and listen to it right now, you're like, man, Big Boy kind of got that nigga on that song. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen to Aquemini back, listen to Y'all Scared and shit like that. Big Boy right there killing shit. So I don't know where this narrative came up. And then after Outkast, Andre decides to go play a fucking flute. Big Boy has a dope ass solo career. Dope songs, dope albums, dope features. Where did this shit happen where Big Boy is just average MC?
That's the wild
Big Boy is not an average MC. Big Boy is a great MC.
That's a fact.
But I think the thing is too, it's like one day, like shit just happened. Like one day, Dre just became everybody's GOAT. And I can't pinpoint where. Like with Black Thought, I can pinpoint it. It was that Flex freestyle. Prior to that freestyle, Black Thought was the most underrated MC in the world. And literally 45 minutes later, that nigga was the GOAT. You know what I mean? So I can't pinpoint where it was where everybody just fell in love with Dre. Like it was just like it's him. It's all about him. Somebody even told me that
Love Below
Dre deserved a statue in Atlanta, and I'm like, well, no Big Boy. Like we ain't gonna get a statue of both of them. Like it's just literally 3,000. Somebody who does not have a solo album. So for me, you can't even.
They try to act like Big Boy is Vinny from Not About Nature or some shit. Or the 5-footer from Black Moon. What the fuck?
I'll give you a better one. They acting like Big Boy is Chad Hugo.
You know? Come on, man. What we talking about?
Chad could do some stuff. Chad.
No, I mean, no. That's the point. That's the point.
You know Chad had a lot to do with that.
Yeah, with that sound. But it's like just Pharrell. It's just everybody is like Pharrell. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So now that's a great one, fam. Easy. What you got for one of yours, bro? I know you see the shit too.
So I gotta go off top, man. Like I understand we all have our preferences and that's cool, but we have to put and keep more respect on Eminem's name, bro.
Oh, that's one of my.
People were acting like he was never good. He has no good albums. Yo, your preference is cool, whatever, but to say he never got busy, to say that he was never good, it's really wild, bro.
Hey, Easy, did you ever see that damn interview? I'm glad you said that, E, because I said the same thing recently. I said, I'm going to take Rakim, Cool G Rap, Jay-Z and all them hip-hop opinion about a great MC before y'all niggas on Twitter. Eminem is considered one of the GOAT MCs by the greatest MCs of all time. Rakim said if he was black, people wouldn't even look at him the same because they were looking at him like Muhammad Ali. This is Rakim said that about Eminem. Cool G Rap said that Eminem's one of his top 10 favorite lyricists, even over Biggie and several other people. He said he thought Eminem was better. You know what I'm saying? So some of the greatest MCs of all time look at Eminem. It ain't Eminem's fault. He got some of these certain kind of fans who not hip-hop fans, they're Eminem fans. But Eminem loves hip-hop. He take it serious, and he's an amazing, even if you don't like his music.
I feel like a lot of people hate him because of his fans. It's not even his
Tone. Oh, so Tone, when we do hip-hop equivalencies, would Eminem be the Dallas Cowboys?
Hey, no. Eminem has won before. We don't win.
Nigga, here you go with this nut ass shit, man. Bro.
And leave my Cowboys alone, dog.
Bro, put that hat up in the screen. Put that hat up, bro.
I just
remind this nigga up here. Yeah. Remind this nigga up here what time
it is. I just gotta ask more.
Hey, we take L's. Eminem ain't taking no L's.
Easy. I agree with you 100%. And like you said, to me, it's not. But we did a show, and I don't know if he was on this one, but we were talking about what are the boxes you have to check to be a legend. And the thing is that we do a disservice to people that we may not be a fan of. I'm not the biggest Eminem fan, but that nigga's a legend. Like, because he checks all the boxes. So the problem is I think when you start doing that, it takes out the favoritism, because you got a lot of people saying people are legends and they're not just because they're your favorite, and then you don't give love to the people who are legends because you may not be a fan of them. Which is, like I said, I forgot what the boxes was, but it was like a household name, check. Got hit out, got classic albums, check. Got classic songs, check. Got like it was 8 things, and Eminem checked every box.
Rapped in every league. Rapped with the Outsiders. Rapped on Raucous. Rapped with every of your favorite pop niggas. Did everything in hip-hop.
Way in tech to Jay-Z. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
one of the greatest MCs of all time.
Ever.
Not even a debate.
Absolute.
Hey, I'm gonna go tomorrow when I get in the car. I'm gonna ask Siri to play Eminem in the ride.
Facts.
You do that. I've never done that. I've never done that, fam. But you do that one there.
You play Renegade in the car. Cut it out.
I skipped over that joint. Was never a fan. I became a fan of the song later. Rel, what you got up, fam?
I got that LL can only make songs for females.
Oh man.
Yeah. I'll double that. I'll double that on that. I've heard people say that LL is a average MC. The LL slander. I wanted to do a show about the MCs. Well, we kind of did about MCs who deserve more credit on their name, because the industry. But again, I think it goes back to what Easy says. It's going to keep going back to what he said about who are you. Like, I've joked with people, but I'll be like, yo, you're gonna have to show me your license before we have a conversation, nigga. Like, I need to check IDs, because if you 30, you're not gonna understand what I'm talking about. So in my mind, at my teen center, my kids was like, when I say Eddie Murphy to my teens, they think of Donkey from Shrek. That's how they see Eddie Murphy. They have no idea about Boomerang and Beverly Hills Cop and Trading Places. They have no idea. So again, when this certain generation sees LL, they just see an actor. They just see that, you know, the dude on Law and Order, whatever he's on, whatever show he's been on forever, like that. They don't know him as an MC. You know, when Straight Outta Compton came out, my team was like, yo, Mr. Kill, Ice Cube was a gangster rapper? And I'm like, was he? Like, yeah, he was, because all they know is Barbershop and Are We There Yet? So, but keep talking your shit, bro. But I'm gonna double down on not just he can't make songs for the women, but that LL is just an average MC.
Yeah. Hey, to the young folks' credit, the music that LL has put out during their lifetime has been a bag of shake.
You said for who?
For the young kids that say LL ain't dope, if it's young niggas. The music that LL put out during their lifetime has not.
Well, see, I'll say this: I haven't listened to an LL after Mr. Smith. I probably heard Phenomena, but then from Phenomena, whatever he did from that all the way up to this album with Tip, I have no idea. I
like the Gold album, though.
I can't speak on that.
The Gold album dope to me. Yeah. The Ill Bomb shit, man. Where I Belong with Ja Rule. Yeah, man. You know.
But I think what it is it's the same way with the NBA. Like for somebody who just started watching the NBA 2 years ago, they're gonna be like, I mean, KD's alright because the last two seasons, so I could understand it. But the thing is like, no, KD is not just alright, like based off of what he did in Phoenix. You know what I mean?
Homie, right though. If you didn't see LL to a degree, where Mama Said Knock You Out, Mr. Smith, all the joints, the 456, the I Shot You and all that, NL Prime, and even before that with Radio and Big and Duff and all that, then you didn't see, you know what I'm saying, Prime, you didn't see 86 Jordan, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what LL was. You know what I'm saying? LL Prime, he was everything. You know, he could do everything on the mic. He had everything an MC supposed to have. So yeah, if you're getting Paradise LL or even the LL right now, then yeah, you compare him against, you know, some of your favorite current MCs, you're gonna be like, yeah, he's kind of mid or whatever, but you didn't get what we got.
Right.
I feel like LL Cool J is the original. Like, you know how they be like, yo, he's him. I feel like LL is the original him.
Oh, facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he is. But again, I'm just trying to going back to your point, is who you're talking to. You know what I mean? Because when you think about hip hop, when I was at Morgan, I'm all talking with people who are all within a 4-year age gap of me, and usually going up. So my freshman year, I'm only talking 18 and up. I'm not talking to nobody who's 12. I'm not talking hip hop with nobody who's 11. You know what I mean? Now that we have social media, you don't know who the fuck you talking to. You know what I mean? Like I told people, you got people who be like, "Kill, man, I'm right behind you, nigga. How old are you? Oh, I'm 44, nigga. I'm 51. You ain't right behind me, my nigga. Like we are not the same. Like so again, what happens is we got old, we got married, we had kids, and we all kind of just we don't even bother to ask people how old they are. We just chopping it up at David Easy. If me and you in Boston chilling at the sports bar and other people come up and start talking hip hop, nothing in my mind makes me ask a person in real life, how old are you, my nigga? Like, you know, now maybe what he's saying may make me be like, tap you to the side, like, yo, this nigga a young boy. Like, he don't know what he's talking about. But I'm not going to ask you how old you are. So I think that's the thing, too, with social media. You don't know who you're talking to. And you talk to people who will be like, Kill, I'm right under you. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then I may not even ask. But then, like I said, you'll be like, people think 45 is close to 51. Nigga, it's 6 years apart. No, it's not. We are not close in there.
It all depends on what you're talking about, though.
Hip hop, you almost got dog years because the way that
it's two different eras.
Like a 2-year gap between somebody can seem like 5. The way
3 years.
Here's the
there you go. Yep.
Here's the thing I always tell people. I fell in love with hip hop 84. Beat Street came out. Breaking was out. Breakdancing was the shit. That person who's 2 years younger than me and falls in love with hip hop when Crush Groove was out, nobody's breakdancing no more. There's no more breakdancing. It's gone. So that person may not have the same love and appreciation for breakdancing and graffiti I do, even though they only 2 years younger than me. They 49. But they may not have that same appreciation. So like you, Rel and Easy said, in dog years, it's very easy to, in hip hop years, 2 to 3 years is a whole span. So you putting 6 on there, dog, we are not the same. Like, but also, nigga, I'm a senior in high school and you're in, what is that? You're in 6th grade? Like, yeah, you're in 6th grade, dog. Like, I'm about to go to college or about to go into the military, and you in 6th grade. Nigga, you just starting to be able to walk home from school by yourself.
Right, but Kill, the only problem with that aggressive of a conversation with that is you can't invalidate a younger nigga's opinion for being a younger nigga. Like, if you didn't get it and you didn't have someone give it to you, pause. Like, if you didn't have someone,
you in this pause shit.
I'm gonna just do it.
You in this pause.
This is how we do.
I understand.
But what I mean though is like if you didn't have,
and keep in mind, fam, I don't blame, I don't blame the young niggas.
Right, but I don't blame them. Like their feeling is valid for their purview because you can Google everything. But listen, if you listen to Camp Lo's first album for the first time in 2025, you be like, man, these beats dope, but what are these niggas talking about? Like,
I mean, shit. And when it came out in 1996, I didn't know what the fuck they was talking about. But I don't. What I do blame is I blame us as the old heads. You know, that's why with apartment 5B.
I'm gonna tell you why I don't.
Well, hold tight for a second, E. The reason why I want apartment 5B to be something where people could learn from is because it goes back to the work that I do in the hood with my kids. You know, for a lot of my kids, they just don't know no better. For them, the only way, the number one thing for them is if I got to get some money, I got to sell drugs, I got to steal a car. For my girls, now I got to be a stripper, I got to be a jump off. And I'm like, nah, there's so many other ways that y'all can get a job out here and do different things like that. So to me, when I meet younger dudes who had older brothers, I can kind of see, oh, your older brother schooled you, or your older cousin schooled you, or somebody schooled you. Because if you don't have anybody to school you, and that's what I'm always trying to get my staff to understand, that we're coming into a community that, and I always use this analogy. When me and T got this house, I had a hammer, a flathead, and a Phillips screwdriver. Those are the only 3 tools I had in my toolbox. You know what I mean? As time went on, I needed more tools to keep my house in order. For a lot of the parents that we serve, all they got is a hammer. That's all they know. You come to them one way, they only know one way to come back at you, and it's going to be hard. It's going to be in your face. I've got to teach them, here are other ways to communicate. Here are other ways to get your feelings out. Here's other ways. So I think just from my work with doing that, I feel the same way, that if a young boy don't have nobody schooling him, and all he knows is he just falls in love with hip hop in 2000, and all he knows is the shit that's on the TV, that I do think we have to, you know, take into account, you know, to kind of make, we have to, in my opinion, as the old head, because I always tell people, you can come fuck with my kids now, or they can rob you later. But you're going to get to know my kids. One way or another, you're going to get to know my kids. So whichever way you choose to, that's on you, my nigga. But if they really cut this Section 8, and they really cut these food stamps, my nigga, it's about to be crazy out here in these streets. So again, you can fuck with my kids one way or the other. So E, you can talk about it from your standpoint too.
I'm gonna tell you why it is the kids' fault. I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
I grew up. I'm gonna be 43 next month. I'm a little younger than you are, right?
That's crazy, because I would never think that.
So peep it, right? My era, Wu-Tang, Biggie, Nas, Mob, Cube, Dre, Snoop, right? I love hip hop. I live and breathe this shit for real. Like I am this shit.
Right.
I decided I wanted to know about the culture that I love. So I went back and I learned about Rakim, and I went back and learned about BDP and Public Enemy and all that. Right? So if you have no desire, the old head can't teach you. So fuck them kids. Right. It is their fault.
But see, I had
I like that E. I like that E.
Right? I'm younger than Kill, but I'm older than Easy, right?
Nigga, what are we doing? Just think how old you are, nigga.
I'm 46, but my point is,
all right, he like you divided in long division. Like I'm younger than Kill, but older than E, but I'm in between Tone and Ralph. Nigga.
But to my point is I had an OG, right? But I also had younger homies I gave the game to. So what I'm saying is there aren't a lot of bridges if they weren't born from the same mother. A lot of the time,
have desire, though.
That's fine.
But I think that's the thing.
You don't know.
But I think the thing is the thing that you said is you fell in love with hip hop. This is what I realized going to Morgan. Once I graduated, everybody loved hip hop. They loved listening to it. But then when niggas graduated, I'd be like, yo, you heard the new such and such? Oh, nah, I ain't heard nothing new. I got niggas who dead ass don't know what Griselda is, don't know. All they do is listen to stuff from the 90s. So what I realized was, I was like, oh shit, y'all niggas really didn't love this the way I love this shit. You listened to it, it was cool, and that's what happens. You have a lot of these young boys who like it, it's cool, I want to be in on the conversations, but I don't love it. Because to me, if you love it, there's no way that, I'll never forget, when I started going to church with T and got saved, and all the people, all the men's in the men's ministry was like, yeah, you gotta get rid of that hip hop. You gonna sell your CD? Nigga, what the fuck is you talking about? Me loving God don't got nothing to do with hip hop, man. And here's the crazy part. And here's the trick. Here's the crazy part. I was leaving men's ministry one day and I was like, where y'all going? They was like, oh, we gonna see Bad Boys 2. I said, my nigga, you do know that there's gonna be more curse words in Bad Boys 2 than on a whole Cameron album, right? Just checking.
And Dr. Dre for the movie.
Right. And here's the wild part, but the wild part is, so y'all want me to stop listening to hip hop, but y'all still gonna go see Bad Boys 2. It don't work. So, but that's what I mean by like you said, we are hip hop. You know what I mean? Most people aren't. They're just casuals. Tone, what you gonna say, bro?
Yo, man, hey, Killer E, y'all on the same wavelength. I don't know if you saw my tweet yesterday. I said it's hard being a hip hop head that love hip hop, having conversations with people that like hip hop sometimes. It can be frustrating for us. So it's an easy point, and I always say this. We're in the age of information. If you say you love this culture, look, bro, I love Motown, but you know what? What's Going On came out in 72. I was born in 75. So you know what I did? I told my dad, my uncles, my older men at the barbershop, man, how was Motown when Marvin Gaye dropped I Want You? How was Stevie Wonder when he did? Yo, if you love music or love hip hop, ask about it. I went back and did the knowledge on Kool Moe Dee against Busy Bee when I was a grown man. I went back and did the knowledge on, I remember being a little boy when the message came out. My brother's a DJ in the 80s and 8 years older than me. I'm 50 next, in a couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? So to E point, you either love it and do the research and get the knowledge, or you shut the hell up and don't talk to the people like all of us on here who love this culture. Sit down with somebody and go and
But you know what it is too, Tone, is that this generation,
lazy.
What they do, it's this lazy, but this is what they do. They watch one movie, then they want to come challenge us. Whereas it was the opposite for me. When I saw The Temptations, I called my mom immediately. Was like, yo, was everything in the movie right? Like, was this and that? So I'm always challenging people. You want to read a book and then come try to bark up the tree, bark up the wrong tree with us, instead of reading the book and then coming to one of us being like, yo, I just read this book about Nas. How was it when Illmatic? Like, they get the knowledge and then they feel like, okay, now I'm on your level. And I always tell people, that's great. You can listen to Illmatic. But if you weren't outside, it's going to hit you. Like you said, so I've listened to What's Going On a million times. It will never hit me the way it hit my parents because they had people in Vietnam. They was going through that. So again, it's not discrediting it. I appreciate y'all listening to it. But when I go home and I talk to my mom, I shut the fuck up. I ask a question and I shut the fuck up and I listen. This generation, we say, fam?
What are the cultural opportunities for niggas that love hip-hop post 2000? And what I mean is niggas like, even though it was fading out, like graffiti, breaking and all that, like there was identifiable culture. It was fashion, like street culture was us, like niggas that was wearing low in at a certain point in time, the way they wore low, oh, that's a hip-hop nigga, or that's just a nigga that shop at Hex. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's a difference. I don't know if there's a cultural link directly to music over the past 15, 20 years. Maybe more, just like we grew up and we knew that was a hip-hop nigga because he could break dance and he'd be at the club and he'd get the pop locking. We know that nigga always up under the bridge, putting his name on the wall. We know that nigga, you see what I'm saying? Or that
it's
nigga
not there, but that's
I
the thing.
Know no young DJs.
But here's the thing, we've got to create that. So that's the thing. What we try to do with the hip-hop museum out in DC, we try to have the pop-up apps. You know, if niggas, that's why whenever we do the show, I always try to, I'm always trying to get people to lead people. Like, okay, boom, what's the best album to start with? I never send a nigga back like, yo, to Run DMC. I send them back to the Treacherous 3 first. Listen to that shit. Then listen to Funky 4. Then listen to Melly Mel. Now go to Run DMC. Because I can't send you from Ransom to Run DMC.
Right.
You're not. It's not going to click for you. But if I send you back before Run DMC, and then you can see what it sounded like before and then come to them. But again, so I am with you. Fuck them kids, because a lot of them are they're just casuals. They're just trying to be cool.
You called your mother and asked her shit because you had a desire to learn. You had a desire. It starts with that, and then the older head teaches you. But it starts with you. You gotta want to know that shit.
That's why I be blazing these dummies on Twitter.
Go over here with his finger like this.
And for a lot of people, you got to realize that right now, for this generation, again, from the work I do, this generation wanting to learn is not like in their repertoire. Like that shit is not in their wheelhouse. Like they don't want to learn shit. With these phones, you can't tell me shit. I know everything. I'm on it. So they don't want to learn in school. They don't want to learn, listen to no nigga telling them. And again, even when I work with my kids, I never be like, yo, the music y'all listen to is whack. I be like, yo, play me some shit. Okay, dope. That's dope. Let me play you Nas, I Gave You Power. Then they be like, oh shit, he talking like he's a gun. I'm like, yeah, now can your favorite rapper do that? And then they be like, nah. You know what I mean? Because I already know if I tell them, yo, the shit y'all listen to is whack, boom, there goes the wall. They ain't gonna listen to a word I have to say ever again. So I'm allowing you to listen to, and then that will get them in to, well, let me hear some more of this Nas. Then I'm playing Rewind, and then they mind really be fucked up. You know what I mean? So again, it's how we're presenting stuff to these kids. This ain't like, fam, you said you had an older cousin, you had an OG. I'm sure he could be like, nigga, sit the fuck down, listen to what I'm saying. You can't do that with this generation. You can't. You got.
I know everything already.
I can do it with mine.
You but like you said, it does go back to the word desire. And if you truly have the desire, then you will. Tone, give me something that you've seen crazy on Twitter, man.
Oh my God. That Doggy Style was just average, man, and didn't have the impact that y'all said it did.
Nah, it's just everything else after it.
And I'm just like, I'm taken back because I'm like, well, first of all, to your point, Kid, how old are you? Because I'm like, I'm you know, I remember when Doggy Style dropped. First of all, I remember Deep Cover first, and they's like, yo, this dude is next up. This is incredible. Then the Chronic dropped. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, he's the star of the Chronic, basically, as the MC on the Chronic. Then it's like the most highly anticipated. What I try to tell young cats is, the way y'all look at Get Rich or Die Trying in like 2003 or whatever, that was 1993 Snoop without social media. They both sold over 800,000 copies in the first week. But Snoop, there was no download, no nothing. You had to go to the record store. Snoop became the most popular person in music in the world as far as like urban music. You know what I'm saying? So when I hear people saying, was Doggy Style really that good? Yes, it was better than what you can imagine. It was everything in 1993. And Killers my age, we lived through Doggy Style. Yeah. And I couldn't believe these narratives about Doggy Style not being this epic classic that it is. It was that they boycotted Doggy Style.
But here's the wild part, Tone, and the tag onto that.
I'm in college.
Snoop, this is some shit that somebody said to me. Snoop Slotty Dotty is doper than Slick Rick Slotty Dotty. So, and again, I'm gonna throw it out the window and just say somebody's younger. And then Rel, back to you. Somebody told me Fab is doper than LL Cool J. So
remember that. I was going there with somebody about that.
Hey,
we got
that. Can I admit to something right now? And it's going to break your heart. You can be very upset with me.
No, it won't. No, it won't.
Be angry.
I expect it from you, fam.
I only own 11 lows in Jordans. I don't have any 11 highs because I don't like high top sneakers.
It's okay, bro. It's okay. Nothing wrong with lows. That's just, I like highs. You see, I got the 11s right here on tap from the day. I don't fuck with the highs.
You can't even. I'm old.
It's all good, bro. It's all good. Here's a couple of joints I got. Bone Thugs made West Coast hip hop. That was at Jay Plays It Cool.
That's an interesting one because of who they mans was. Because they got put on by Easy.
But keep in mind, Bone Thugs made West Coast hip hop. But somebody told me what's this guy?
NWA, but go ahead.
At Nika Shield Cold, Busta didn't evolve and is equal to Charlie Brown as an MC.
That is not a real tweet, man.
That might be the most. I'm the maddest at that of anything. I
swear to God.
So you're really trying to ether these dudes out here tonight, Kill?
It's not ether. It's not ether.
He's equivalent to Charlie Brown.
No. Yeah, and Busta didn't evolve and is equal.
Nah, that's not a little nigga. Little nigga don't know who Charlie Brown is. That's a grown nigga right there.
So that was that. Wyclef is the GOAT producer on the mic. That's at CJ L. Low. LL Cool J was only good when no one else was on the field. That's at TANCSGIL 81. So LL was only good.
Can we stop there real quick?
The sure.
Can we stop? Let me ask you a question. Are there any of those? Because you know how L had that formula of a ladies record and then a very very, very hard street record with like the niggas of the time that was making them street records, the Ashachas, the goddamn 4321s. Did L win any of those records?
4321.
LL won 4321?
Hip hop quotable.
LL won 4321.
I personally don't think. I don't think.
What
I
I
don't
really
think
think about that joint is that everyone brought a different energy, but I say LL won.
I may not say LL
Yeah,
won,
yeah,
but for me, I'll say this: LL
No,
went toe to toe. He went toe to toe with everybody. So I may not say he won, but he went toe to
So
toe.
all them niggas on our Shacha remix.
And let me say this real quick too.
That lineup.
Pete
Hey, but
Walsh
let me say this.
hard my
You know how
shit.
impressive. You know how impressive this. Let's do some context real quick about LL. So LL comes out when Run DMC and Beastie Boys and everybody come out in that second era of hip hop. Now you fast forward over a decade. He's on a track with Redman, Method Man, all these guys, Cannabis, you know, all what, and he's holding his. He ain't gotta be better. He's from the Run DMC era and still rhyming and not shaming himself, still sounding dope, energetic, looking fly, everything in a whole new era, a whole new generation. A lot of people can't even cross generations like LL did. He's done that more than one time. So I don't care if he had the best verse. He came out. He was on Crush Groove saying box, and then he's rhyming with DMX.
And here's the thing I love about L. My kids call it duck and wreck. That's when you don't want to fight somebody. LL never duck wreck. He never was like, okay, don't put me on a track with the new hot dudes. I don't want that smoke. L wanted to smoke with whoever brought the smoke. And to me, that
did ask somebody to re-record their verse though.
To be honest, I don't really. You gotta explain to me again that whole Cannabis shit. Like, so what? He wanted him to re-record his verse because
Cannabis
the mic,
had the bar.
I thought it was because the mic on the arm.
The bar was Meth where the guys at, Red where your squad at, Ella's at a mic in your arm, let me bar that. He said, take that off and I'll take the diss rhyme off. And Cannabis redid his verse. L left it is.
LL's a bully, man. We know that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was
He's a bully.
He admitted. He admitted.
He just EPMD on their own song.
Yeah.
But and just keep in mind that what the person said was LL's was only good when no one else was on the field.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that's crazy.
That's
And
one
here's
of
the
the
last
battle tested MCs ever. So that's a crazy comment.
and this was a crazy one. Cannabis's debut was an undisputed classic. So you got that.
Cannabis
one out
cousin.
I will say this. God dang, y'all keep. It's not me. It's y'all. Y'all keep saying things that make me have to defend. I don't think Cannabis' first album was a classic. I didn't think it sucked either. Like I felt like.
But that's cool. But that's two totally different conversations.
What I'm saying though, Cannabis' first album was one of those records that like one nigga said it was whack, and then 20 niggas said it was whack.
Yeah, after those freestyles in '97, when he dropped that shit, it was one of the biggest letdowns ever.
Yeah,
Buckingham Palace is dope. How We Roll is dope.
I want to say something though.
Is dope. Like it's dope records on that album.
Yo, fam, fuck that out real quick, right? real quick, right? I want to say something. I want to go back to LL real quick, and I also want to add that he just released an album in 2024, and
that lyrically was dope.
That exactly. The knock on the album is not his. It was not his rapping.
Yeah, it's not L. It was the beats. Tip is the one because I thought Tip was gonna come with. I'm like, I don't know about L. L did his part. L did his part.
So that's now. That's the other day.
And that's in 2024. So that's actually 40 years from when he first dropped.
And you know what's the problem, Kill? Real quick to ride Easy Coattail. The problem there was we didn't get LL Cool J produced by Q-Tip album. We got LL Cool J produced by Kamal the Abstract album, and that was the problem.
Yeah. Right. Because that's what people
think that style. I think it probably didn't match. He should have went with somebody else.
All right, fam, what you got up? What you got up next, bro?
So let's stay here, right? The revisionist history that LL Walsh Cannabis. Like I always felt like that was a lie. Because what's your favorite LL? What's the name of your favorite LL Cannabis disc?
Mine's Where I Belong.
4, 3, 2,
Where I
1.
belong for me.
4, 3, 2, 1.
4, 3, 2, 1. Is any of that touching second round knockout?
I thought second round knockout was trash, to be honest with you.
Listen. This is the thing, though, right? This is the thing, right? The second round knockout record was better than the Jacker Strikes Back.
Strikes Back, yeah.
Yeah. But this is the thing, though. This is one of those things, right? Where you debate, right? There's a debate. Who did the better rapping, right? Like, I'm gonna tell you something. There's an entire world outside of Twitter, like the real world, where a lot of people think Drake was better than Kendrick Lamar, right? Whatever. No matter who you think was better, Kendrick won the battle. The consensus is Kendrick won the battle. I didn't think Kendrick Lamar rapped significantly better than Drake. I thought it was pretty even, but Kendrick won the battle. You understand what I'm saying? That's all subjective, but who won the war? Cannabis vanished, right? With Pusha T, dudes argued Drake rapped better than Drake rapped better than Pusha T. Pusha was more tactical. He won the battle. That's just how it is. Sometimes
But Drake, but to your example, Drake didn't vanish after Push. Now, Push washed Drake.
But the thing is Drake was so big.
Drake too large. You can't get rid of Drake.
And that's a point to what makes this Kendrick thing so
Ja
incredible.
was large, my nigga. Ja was large, and Fifth got rid of that nigga.
Nah, that's a narrative too. That's a narrative.
Ja's not what Drake is. Prime Ja is not what Prime Drake is.
If I'm a hip hop nigga in New York,
Prime Drake is a top 3 MC.
If I'm a hip hop nigga in New York and LL say, "Oh, that's who you recording with this week," nah. That's what it looked like. The nigga
Drake
wasn't
is
recording the same nigga.
Different.
Ja Rule and Drake.
Ja Rule was large. Drake was a tight.
category.
It's different.
And here's the thing: Ja Rule was large on the radio. Drake was everywhere. Anywhere you went, Drake was everywhere. And the fact that Kendrick did damn near in this nigga's career, because that was just Drake. Pusha, it was to the point that nobody cared. Like, nobody cared about the battles no more. It was like, oh, okay, he got a son. That's why Pusha got Drake. But at the end of the day,
I mean, let's keep it a buck.
You talking about just rhyming? If you think just rhyming, Cannabis won, cool. A lot of people think that.
No, I think this record, specifically this record,
to follow that narrative when you consider what happened after.
What I'm saying is, second round knockout is second round, because people use that same argument about Nas signed to Jay-Z. That's ridiculous, right? Niggas know inside the battle who won what. Second round knockout is the best diss in that battle. It's clear. It's
Not
clear.
to me, it ain't.
well, I don't know if it's clear because to me, both of the songs was trash. It was a whack ass battle to me, if you ask me.
Well, see, personally, after all that was over with on the Gold album, go back when y'all got time.
Where I belong.
That's super ugly. All that stuff is super ugly.
No, I'm talking about put Where I Belong on from the Gold album. He ended the rest of that shit.
That was
well.
And again, fam, it's not just one to one because you can't like
love LL.
Go back and listen to it, bro.
Love LL.
Do you know what song I'm talking about?
But peep this, it's not always the one.
I haven't heard it.
All right, that's what I'm saying. You haven't heard it. Put that in.
I'll peep it.
But you got,
But I remember
it's not always, and it's not always the one off because it was the bridge, then South Bronx, then it was Kill That Noise, then it was The Bridge Is Over. So it's not just always one song to one because guess what? Chris won both.
We all know The Bridge Is Over. We all know.
No, but what I'm just saying, fam, is you talking about a subpar battle at best. Like neither one of them shits was good to me. Like it's almost like the NBA Finals. If we get Indiana versus OKC, it's like this may be the most boring NBA final ever. So somebody's gonna come out. It could be good, but as a marketing person, this is a PR nightmare. We supposed to have the Lakers in New York.
Hey, long as it down, I don't care.
Right. Easy. What you got up next, bro?
I just think it's very, very hilarious that y'all brought up Ja Rule because that was my next one.
Well, there you go.
People act like Ja Rule was not running shit for a 3-year period.
Oh, Ja was hot.
Right? Like Kill. What a lot of the things you're saying, they're just bad. They're just poor opinions, right? there's this narrative now, like that people were running with, that Ja Rule
Right.
was on top of the world.
And I don't get that.
In Touch was not multi-platinum at one point.
And here's the
And
thing.
Betty Beachy was hard.
And here's
It
the
was.
thing, bro.
And that wasn't even the prime.
Ja was a monster.
People, there are plenty of days that I go to work blasting the best of Ja Rule off of Apple Music.
3
There are
songs?
plenty of no, I mean, yo,
These
there-
jokes. I'm making jokes.
Oh, I'm about to say, I like a lot of them joints. I fuck with that joint. With him and Ashanti to me was good money.
Bro, that
all the
versus
time.
alone showed what he has. That versus with Fat
You know
Joe,
what I mean?
you saw it hit after
Oh
hit after hit.
Oh
I
no, the
just
Murder
think there
Inc.
was a-
records, the Cash Money Click stuff when he was the
But-
joint when he was
but
smoking the
it-
cigarette, rapping it to
there
the
was-
mic. He got joints.
There was just that. It was that point in time when I just think there was a line split down to hip hop, and it was just like, oh, that's them on that side, and then it's us over here. You know, so I think that's what it did. I talk about this a lot when it was written because I've had seen people say that it was written. I know someone in real life who said it was written was trash. Like, and I've seen online people say it was written is not good, and I'm like, I swear that this is only because it says produced by the Trackmasters.
We talked
Because
about
I
Boom Bap
I
and
will-
we talked about last time, Kill.
you
right.
know we talked
But
about.
I will die on the hill that if that album said produced by Pete Rock, Premier, Large Professor, Havoc, and RZA,
Yep.
that it would be a fight. Same beats, same everything.
Yep.
But if it said produced by those people, because I got the advanced copy of it. So I'm in my mom's basement in Philly listening, like, damn, who could have done this? I thought Watch Them Niggas could have been Pete Rock, could have been Extra P. When I heard Shootouts, I knew that was RZA. I was like, yo, this shit crazy. RZA on the album. Like, so for me, so it was almost the flip. When I got the album, I'm like, oh shit, the Trackmasters did Shootout? The Trackmasters did Watch Them? It actually, and here's another thing that people don't understand about the Trackmasters, easy. Back to your word desire. Before the Shiny Suit era, the Trackmasters had bangers. People don't know that Trackmasters
Cool G
did
rapping
Ill
all
Street
that
Food.
shit.
Yeah, most people's favorite Cool G rap song is the Trackmasters. So
Facts.
that's the other part, that the Trackmasters always had dope beats. But I think that's the same thing too. Easy as that. At the end of the day, at that point in time, and I always say this, and this is what me and Tone always talk about. When I did my show, it was called Strictly Hip Hop, and we were like the Stretch and Bobbito of the DMV. In the other show, and Fam will tell you, he used to listen to us, longtime listener, supporter. 92Q had Rap Attack. So what happened was Rap Attack would play the Nelly, would play the Ja Rule, would play all the radio shit. We played all the underground shit. So in my mind, it was kind of like, okay, this is hip hop, that's rap. And that's the reason why, because it's called Rap Attack, we're strictly hip hop. So I think for a lot of, like you said, the hip hop Avengers, it was just like, fuck Ja Rule. But yo, my man was in the car with me the other day. He's like, nigga, you listen to Ja Rule? I'm like, fuck yeah, this shit is
And let me
crazy,
say this
man.
too, kid.
It's a time. I feel like it's a time and place for everything. If niggas is about to go do some work or some shit, no, I'm not playing always on time. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm not playing that.
You know what, too, though? And this is why I said it's funny. We all this go on what we've been talking about recently on Twitter. Revisionist history again on Ja Rule. What people not understanding. You get the Shanti records and the J-Lo and all this because Ja Rule had the task of carrying a damn record label. Do people understand what's going on? Murder Inc. had to be carried by somebody. Ja Rule and then Ashanti carried a whole label. So yes, by the time the Fed stuff happened with Irv and all them, with Preem and all that, they got washed by the Feds. So 50 Cent came like a tidal wave. People don't understand. Jimmy Iovine, Dr. Dre, and Eminem are back. Interscope Records are back in this guy named 50 Cent, who has the look. He's been shot. He got the story. He's the new Tupac, bombing on Ja Rule, and then they had to stop recording because Murder Inc. got shut down. So people don't understand the full story. I'm not saying 50 wouldn't have won, but the reality is there's a lot of factors in why Murder Inc. had to stop making music for almost 2 years. Why 50 Cent them dumping on the whole industry.
Well, and also the problem is the 50
These
records
are
were
facts.
good.
Tone,
The
what
50
about
records were good too,
What
though.
about this, Tone? What about the fact that people forget that 50 was doing shit similar to what Ja was doing?
After
Absolutely.
he eaten them,
did.
he basically jacked his style.
He was doing it during.
He was already doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
What's
But he got more blatant with it with Candy Shop and all that shit.
But what's the black
Yeah,
and
it just
white
got worse.
mixtape joint? What's the black and white joint he
Guess
put
who's
out?
back?
Guess who's back? He was singing.
Lord forgive me.
But I was Power of the Dollar before that.
Power of the
All
Dollar.
that junk.
Before that.
He was singing
But I
on
think-
all the records.
But I think the hard part is, and again, people can't go back and kind of like change their history. D-Dot was on Matt Pfeiffer, and he was talking about how he should get just as much respect as Dylan. He was getting mad because hip hop heads don't really give him that love. But I'm like, bro, you chose the check route. You chose the get money route, which is cool. But
That's what
you
you gotta
can't.
do.
Then you can't. Now you can't come back and be like, oh shit, why don't the hip hop heads respect me? What's up, B?
That's the same thing with the Trackmaster skill.
Yeah.
Right.
They made some hits.
Right.
You made it. You
Everybody
right.
right. Look the hard shit they did. You know what I mean?
Right. And we talked about
And that shit still happens. They're doing it with Hit Boy now.
right,
I
and
love
it's the
it,
same
bro.
thing with Quick, and it's the same thing with Quick. And then how I would tell Porsche, like when Quick had said something like he should be on the same level as Dre, and I'm like, but bro, you didn't want to produce for other people. You just wanted to produce for you because you didn't want your sound to get out there, which is very commendable. But now niggas, when I'm like, one of my favorite game lines is, I want to see your fucking resume. So you supposed to be on Dre's level. Let me see your fucking resume.
Yeah.
And Quick's resume don't line up to that. So totally understand you making that decision
Nobody
to not. Yeah, but you know, you made that decision. So
Hey,
it
look,
is.
look,
Bro,
hey,
what you
look,
got?
it's not our fault. DJ Quick decided to do like 3 albums with second to none. You know what I'm saying? Instead of giving those beats to to Snoop. He did,
It's
you know
so
what I'm
many
saying?
dope West Coast MCs that could have went off
Yeah.
on them beats.
And Quick
On
got
the
hit.
8 for somebody. God
But
damn.
yo, real shit though, we gotta stop acting like Rule was not.
Rude was that nigga, bro.
But Rule made the same decision.
And like I
had
said,
to.
Yeah.
Rule had
And,
some
and that's
hard-
all it is.
And that's
Yeah,
what-
and that's
Same
all
thing
it
I
is.
said about Eminem. Like what you like. If you like what you like, same thing as Eminem. Like what you like, you can't front. He was the guy.
But, and I think there
What
was
did
a
Jocko
time
with
of
him?
point where it, but I just think it was a time of point where like people weren't able to open up their ears. And what I mean by that it was like, I'm so hip hop, I don't even hear this Always On Time. I don't care what, if I'm in a bad mood, Always On Time is one of them songs that will always make me smile. That shit he got with fucking Bobby Brown, I love that shit. The shit with Charlie Baltimore,
Down
my,
that shit, that's
down
my
ass
shit.
nigga. So again, but easy, I'm with you with the hip hop Avengers, where it's just like, nope, I don't hear it, I don't hear it, I don't live. Again, it's one of those things. Little fam in the building, little fam in the building.
Good.
Ralph, what you got up next, bro? What you got up?
So I got that, and I know, you know, opinions, whatever. But people that was there when this happened, Nas beat Jay-Z in the battle. Stop trying to switch it and say that he
You
didn't.
said Nas beat Jay-Z. Oh, I was about to say what he did, right?
Yeah, no. A lot of people try to,
I'm confused. Like, oh
a
shit.
lot of people try to switch it and say Jay-Z won the battle. But
Because look where he was after it. He
But-
cut a shot at that nigga.
But listen, when Ether happened, it was a moment like I didn't think I would ever see, because you never saw Jay-Z uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
He was extremely uncomfortable when that dropped.
On his
And
birthday.
whether you like the
How
song,
do you know that?
huh?
How do you know that? He was
I'm talking about when I heard him on interviews. I heard him on that Angie interview.
Oh man,
He
Andy was
sounded-
bad. It was
He
bad.
sounded crazy on that. I don't know him personally. I'm just saying, like, from what I heard.
Ether came out on his
and,
birthday.
and then dropping Super Ugly. Super Ugly was out of his character. It was Super Ugly was
It
almost
was emotional. It was
He's
emotional.
more, he's feeling more composed and laid back and cool.
There you go. It was like it showed that, you know, this affected me in a certain way and I'm out of character. You know what I'm saying? Now, whether you like the Takeover song better than Ether, because I know some people that do, the effect of Ether was just different. And you can't, even as a whole fan, you can't deny it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's a term now. Somebody get their ass kicked, they got Ether. You know what I'm
It's a
saying?
verb.
So the effect of that song and that, you know, and I'm the biggest Nas fan in the world. When Takeover dropped, me and maybe one other person had hope that he was going to be able to come back from that. you gotta remember where Jay was at when that happened.
Takeover was a monster.
Yeah, he's not battling some dude. He not battling MC Get Busy from
Right.
Backpack dude. He's battling the guy. You know what I'm saying? And he was counted out, and to come back with that, it was a moment. So yeah, that's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I totally agree with you. I mean, I think Takeover is the better song than Ether in my opinion, but I mean, Nas won. You know what I mean? Like
that just I think.
I mean, it could go either which way. I mean, it's
what I mean is, I agree.
What
Takeover is a better song. I agree, it's a better song. But I think as it, like the effectiveness of what it.
Oh, I mean,
did, you know, and Jay shot at a lot of other niggas. Jay was shooting at B. Like he was shooting. He was Drake. He was like
Memphis Bleak talked about them in the studio hearing that joint, and he talked about it more than one time, and kind of looking over at Jay, and Jay got up and walked the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Like had to get his thoughts together. You know what I'm saying? That's why that Super Ugly was rushed and out of character, because Hov is a cool, laid back. I'm gonna beat you with style, and that's not what Super Ugly was, which is why, you know, I always said if that Blueprint 2 track would have came out instead of Super Ugly, we got a different situation, different battle, because he was more composed and in his bag on Blueprint 2 diss track. But you know that Super Ugly was it threw him off, and it made people look at it like Nas Esco got him reaching, talking about, you know, saying shit about the women and children.
And that was the thing. And that was the thing. And when you fumbled a bag like that, because it was already Nas had got him with Ether. Because I remember on Hot 97, people were voting and everything. Primo even said, to me, that's one of the reasons why Jay may not fuck with Primo no more, because Primo was like, oh, Nas won that. Like, you know what I mean? And Jay seemed the type of boy that'd be like, oh, word, you think so? Oh, okay, well.
And then Nas comes back with last
real camera kill.
What you said?
I can tell you the real reason off camera.
All right, no doubt. What you said, Tom?
And also, it didn't help that, you know, for Jay-Z, that Nas ended up on Godson doing Last Real Nigga Live, and that nigga said I was Scarface, Jay was Manolo. If Herman would have had to kill him in his whole squad for Dolo, and it's kind of like, I got you, dog. I got you. You know what I mean? So Nas was doing this fucking victory lap on Godson and just pissing everybody off at the time. You know what I'm saying? Because Nas was kind of on one. He got Major Look, and you got all these cats on Major Look video. You got Fat Joe and all them behind you with the pun mural and all that. He on some hip hop shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and attacking the industry and attacking Jay-Z as the champagne guy when he did the shit with the Roots, with the Unplugged and all that. So now he was trying to kill him on some hip hop shit. And then Last Real Nigga Live to me went on and dead at the battle. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, real, like anybody thinking otherwise, and you can think to take over better, but as a battle and the effectiveness of what Nas did, Nas won the battle. You can like Jay-Z better, but he won the battle. You can like Drake better, and you can say Drake even might have had some songs where he technically barred up better than Kendrick, but Kendrick was more effective and he won the battle. You can say Drake is even better. Nothing wrong with that. You can say Jay-Z is better than Nas. Nothing wrong with that. But Nas beat Jay-Z. Mm-hmm. The street set.
And I think the bigger difference is we come from an era where when you lost the battle, your career was basically over. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that Nas battle, that it was like, but Jay's still standing. In fact, Jay still got more money. It's kind of like, fam, what you were saying with the Nelly thing. Like, it got to a point where the battle wasn't even about lyrics. It was about money. And I'm not talking about Jay-Z. Like when Meek and Cassidy was going back and forth, and somebody was like, yo, Kill, who you think could win? And I'm like, if Meek pull up in a Wraith with two bad bitches, he won. Like, it ain't even about, no bars even got to get spit. Yeah. And we moved as a culture to where it was like, that was the deadliest thing about a battle, was if this ain't handled right, my nigga, your career could be over. Like,
sometimes, you know what I mean? If you're so large, you can only take some bumps and bruises, because at the end of the day, even with this Kendrick and Drake thing, you can't stop Drake's career. He's a titan. You know what I'm saying? Well, so
I don't know, bro. Everything
social media stuff. That ain't real life, though.
I think, but that's
off though.
Yeah. So, he damaged them in terms of battling, but in real life,
you think Drake could make a new album right now and it would do Drake numbers again? This nigga has stadiums across the country of 50,000 people calling this nigga a pedophile.
It's only going to take one record.
Large, bro.
It's going to take one record.
I'll say this: Drake has thrown songs out there, and they have come and gone. No, I'm saying he has. Drake has put out songs since this battle, and they have come and gone. They have not even.
Some of them ain't good.
They have
24
come
hours.
and gone. They have come and gone for us. Those records for his audience.
Oh, he number one right now for 2025 albums.
Listen,
With that album
listen,
with the boy,
our-
Yeah, he's number
with
one.
the singer dude.
our
Yeah,
our-
he's number one.
Who is?
our
Who
purview
is?
is
Drake.
very
Drake,
specific.
new shit.
I didn't know that. I was
Our
saying that
purview is
Nokia
very
record.
narrow.
That Nokia song wasn't it for us, but man, it
Yeah,
was
he's
it for a lot
still
of
Drake, bro.
because they a
His
lot.
fans,
of people
he's still
was on
Drake,
that.
bro.
Listen, I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you,
That's
Drake.
why I'm saying there's a
all
whole
Drake
world
gotta do
outside of social media that
It
doesn't
is.
roll with that narrative, bro.
it's getting warm
I mean,
outside.
here's the thing that I could say. In real life, I haven't met like people who fuck with Drake in real life since when Drake first came out. Like I'm talking about with the So Far Gone mixtape. So I don't know nobody who gets in the whip and it's like, yo, throw in that Drake. Like, so you're
Yeah,
right.
that's not-
I
that's
don't
not your
know.
generation, bro. That's
Yeah,
not our generation.
right. So I can't call it, but I would love to see Drake do what Kendrick's doing, like sell out some stadiums
Yeah.
and not fucking the Verizon Center. No, I mean
That's a
Lincoln.
piece of cake for
Lincoln
Drake,
Financial.
bro.
He's already
Okay,
done that.
okay.
Come on. All right, listen.
No. I'm saying
Drake
after
now.
this. I'm saying after this now.
This
Piece
is the
of cake, bro.
Is
So
Drake could sneeze on a record and get 2 million streams. That's not a problem for him. Here's the thing, and so this goes into one of the things that is for me revisionist history on the internet is that A, Drake isn't battle tested, and B,
Absolutely
that
battle tested.
it because what?
Question: if
Comment.
you're battle tested and you've lost all of them, is
No,
that,
no. What do you mean?
does that
Yes,
count?
you
Does
just
that count?
did it.
Yeah,
You just
he
did
beat
it.
me.
He
I did what?
murdered me.
And
Is
they
that
gave
your
Thomas some
girl's
balls.
tour or your girl's tour? He killed that
Yeah,
nigga.
okay. He killed
But
me.
Meek made it back. Meek made it back. I don't know if we've cared about a record, but Meek made it back.
Which I never understood how Meek made it back, but that's a whole nother show. That's a whole nother show.
Jay-Z and the owner of the Patriots. But no.
Okay.
Oh, you mean
That's funny, but yeah, I got you.
no? I feel like Drake niggas came in because Drake it was the guy. He was the guy at the top of the hill.
You know what? I gotta throw a flag on the play just for me. Here's the thing. Drake don't write his rhymes, so I'm gonna just bow out of this one because I don't.
Listen, that's on my list.
Okay.
That's on my list. Drake is not
Okay.
an MC. We're gonna
Now
talk
here's the
about
thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. And this can all merge together. And this is just kill simple philosophy.
Mhm.
Once I find out you have fucking what are they called? When you no not just writers, but when you have a reference track. When you have reference tracks. When I find out you have reference tracks, you are no longer an MC in my book. You are taken off that list.
You moving the
Again, this
goalposts.
is-
That's why you
this-
praising
this
Will
is-
Smith on Twitter, calling him an MC.
No, you ain't never heard me praise Will Smith since
I saw it.
since 1988. I'm with Tone. Pull him up.
Like-
I've not praised Will Smith. My man Kel Spencer writes for Will Smith. So whenever you hear praise from me from Will Smith as an MC, it is prior to 1989. So
Find a tweet. Find a
so
tweet.
find it.
Let
But
me
it's the
ask you a
same-
question.
It's the same thing with Kanye. When I found out Kanye did not do Down and Out, that nigga can no longer be nowhere in my top 10 producer list. If I find
Okay,
out you got ghost producers, because now I don't know what to believe. If your girl come home and tell you, if your girl comes home and tells you, babe, I was out with my homegirls and you find out she was with another nigga, now I got to fucking question where you was all the other fucking times. And we all know that's
ain't
real.
got to
That's
question
real
you,
shit. Ain't
Yo.
nobody. I'm not talking with anything with a nigga. If your nigga was supposed to be
get it.
somewhere and that nigga lied to you, you were gonna
He
question
wrote
shit.
1,000
I don't want to
other
have to
songs
question
and
shit.
for other
I don't
people.
know.
This is
I
the
don't
thing.
know
Yes,
that.
Now, Drake is a
I don't
writer.
know.
Come on,
yes,
dog.
he's won ASCAP awards. Now, when
He's a writer.
Drake for other people.
yeah, when Drake was first getting on and he was paying like
So then
that,
why do you got niggas writing for you then?
because of the camp he was in the right nigga crank.
But I thought the dude Q. I thought he was cute.
No. Here's the
Oh,
thing. Here's the thing. If you a writer, why the fuck you got niggas writing for you? That don't got no goddamn
I
sense.
thought
Let's
he
ask Snoop Dogg. Let's ask Snoop Dogg too. Fuck it. Let's ask him.
Yeah, let's ask Snoop. Let's ask all these motherfuckers.
But here's the camp that they
You
was
can't
in.
you
look
can't you
at the
can't
nigga was
you
trying to-
can't put You can't put I'm a writer, but I got niggas who write for me. That's some
No,
nut ass
I
shit.
thought the dude Q. I thought Drake and the dude Q was doing some songs together on that mixtape.
Quentin Miller.
Quentin Miller, I thought they were doing some songs together, co-writing on that mixtape.
So here's the thing.
From what I
He
understand, when
comes from a camp.
Flex blew up the spot, he was like, yo, here are the reference tracks. If I'm not mistaken, the boy Q Miller, whatever, was saying, yeah, I was writing for Drake, Quentin, whoever the
That
fuck.
was on that one
I was
mixtape.
writing for that.
One
nigga.
album. I was
You
yeah.
can't-
It was on that one mixtape. That whole thing got overblown, fellas.
M1 got
Again,
M1
we
was
all
sick.
have our own definitions. You
No, the
can't
whole
call
thing
yourself
got
a
blown
writer
up. It was
if
one
you have
mixtape.
writers. You can't do that.
But yeah, I
Not for
feel
me.
like I feel like when you say that, you're saying if a nigga wrote 20 hits and then he was like, man, I want a tough nigga record, but I ain't a tough nigga. Hey, tough nigga, write me a record. I'm no longer a writer because I got the tough nigga record, even though I wrote all these joints for Wayne. This nigga was writing for Nicki. Well, I'm sorry, that's a whole nother rabbit hole.
Right for Jamie Foxx and all that shit.
Listen, Drake
He's
winning
a fact.
ASCAP
He's a
awards
writer,
tells
bro.
you
He's a writer.
he's a writer.
He came in writing for people.
You gotta remember, Cash
Hey,
Money Baby
again.
started off with a label where
Bro,
he had
we're wasting time because y'all not gonna sway me. So keep y'all. I'ma just.
I'm not trying to sway you.
again.
Trying to
No,
sway you.
no. But the thing is,
Time out,
at
time
the end
out.
of-
Everyone's Lord and Savior, Nasir. They say that Stickman or M1 got reference tracks on him too.
they came out immediately and said that wasn't true. Nah, Sticky came out quick, was like, no.
Nah, I think
I
Stickman
remember
was
that
doing.
accusation though.
Oh, you talking doing a nigga album? When they were doing a nigga mixtape,
Yeah.
I think him and they collaborated on No Association and a couple other songs. They collaborated on doing a nigga mixtape. You know what I'm
So
saying?
let me ask you a question. So
Like
what is
most
the
of them
amount?
collaborate.
So what is the amount of songs that somebody cannot write to not be a writer? Is it half?
I thought Q wrote 2 songs with Drake.
Time out, bro. It's output kill. How many songs can I pull? If I go on Tidal right now, right, and I pull up Drake, I'm gonna find hundreds of songs. If he didn't write 2, we're gonna say he's not a writer.
Yeah, because all
and
of
in addition
the
to
records
that-
got
in
referenced
addition to
and they were in the liner notes. They
Can
weren't
I ask you a
non-credited.
question? Can I just ask a question? Just totally take this off hip hop. Y'all know me. I missed the analogy. So if your girl lies to you fucking one time, you ain't gonna question you. Your brain is not gonna fucking go and go nowhere.
If
I'm
I
just
tell-
asking you a
if I-
question.
if I-
I'm
if
just
I
asking a
tell my-
You
question.
can't do that. You can't do it in a musical
I
context.
can't.
Irrelevant,
Okay,
though.
I can't do that. Can't.
Kill
Not in a
So,
music context.
hold tight. Is there a difference between a person, a liar, and some? I think as human beings we all lie, but I don't think you're a liar. Like,
All right.
bro, you may
All
lie, but somebody who lies all the time. We all grew up in the hood. We all know a nigga who always be fucking lying, right? That's honest, right? We all know a lying ass nigga. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So the
Adrian.
thing is, how many lies does it take for him to become a lying ass nigga? Is it
One.
5 lies? Oh, it only takes 1. So it only
It
takes 1
depends.
lie.
I can't use that in a music
Well,
context.
Well, because here's
What
the
I'm
thing.
saying
You,
is
you,
that
can,
in
you,
music
can pull up,
context,
you
bro.
can pull up 20,000
You can't use that in
songs,
music,
but now I don't
How
know
many
what the fuck he
haircuts?
wrote. I don't know what he wrote.
You
I
can't use
don't
that.
know.
You can't use that in
Let
music,
me
bro.
ask you a question, right?
The more of what I'm saying is none of us niggas have been in the studio with Drake. Has anybody raised your hand if you have? If you haven't, we don't fucking know what the
That's
nigga
why I can't
fucking.
discredit them then, because ain't nobody been in the studio with him.
But you got reference tracks with this nigga showing here the fucking facts. This
Okay.
nigga ain't write this shit.
If you think there's 2 reference tracks, you think
Here-
the other
here-
wouldn't
here-
anything else?
Here's a question. Here's a question.
What reference track?
Kanye. I'm just going off of what Fam said. It only takes 1 lie for him to say that this nigga's a liar. 1. That's all it takes. So here's the thing. Kanye did that. I thought Kanye did Down and Out for Cam. When people used to be like, who's better, Just Blaze or Kanye? Man, Down and Out. That's my favorite shit. Guess what? Kanye didn't do Down and Out. Now I gotta ask, what the fuck else didn't he do?
Well,
I
shit,
don't
we know
know.
that late registration. John Breon did half a late registration. So
Listen,
everybody should have known that.
How do you know?
But,
How do you know the label? Kanye didn't print the CD. How you know the label didn't do that to try to help boost the sales? Kanye
They
has
did.
never denied not doing that beat. He's never denied that himself.
Right, but then why would you allow your name to be
He's
put
not
on it?
printing the CD.
Nigga, I'm Kanye
That's
West.
it,
I'm bigger than Cameron. I'm bigger than Cam.
Def Jam's bigger than Kanye. They cut his checks.
Fam, here's the thing. At the end of the day, the shit say produce.
put
Here's
that
the
on
thing.
it,
We all know. Here, come on, y'all. Let's not do this. We all know motherfucking guy
you
goes
talking about
producers.
calling him
We
a
not
liar.
gonna play this game. We not gonna
Listen,
play this game
you
like
talking about calling
motherfuckers
him a
not the
liar.
Dre.
He's
No
not
guy
Dre.
goes
He came out
producers.
in public.
We know
He told
Timberland.
He said he didn't do it. It's not a lie.
So
Right,
is
but the
Dr.
thing
Dre
is
not a
that what
producer?
but what you're telling me is that this nigga has ghost producers because Kanye said it on his mixtape. One of my young boy producers did it.
Hell, they
So what
all
is that telling me? That's cool. That's cool. But here's the thing. That's why niggas, you know who I've never heard got a ghost producer? Pete Rock, Premier, Jay Dilla, all them
Listen.
niggas. That's
Well,
why.
then,
That's
hold
why
on,
they
then
need-
Q-Tip,
So then,
then
so
Q-Tip and Jay
Dre's
Dilla
not a
do some
producer?
collaborative beats.
Yeah, they
Who?
did.
Then Q-Tip and Jay Dilla do some beats together.
They had smoke
They,
over
they,
that.
do, they did some beats together.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what
People
you
are-
It's
want.
unreal, bro.
Dilla is kills goat, so the
I don't-
goat
I don't-
is moved.
But
No,
Dilla did.
it's not getting moved. But what I'm saying is, Dilla stopped fucking with the Uma because niggas will be like, Dilla was like, I did that shit. I did that shit. I did that shit.
You don't
And
think they
niggas be like,
collab on
oh,
any
we
of
thought-
that shit?
I'm just telling you what the nigga Dilla said. Dilla is saying that's why he started his production company. And what was his production company called? Pay J, because he got tired of always people thinking Q-Tip did the shit. That's why he stopped fucking with Uma.
And Drake did a 2-hour interview with Elliot Woods and all them, and basically said him and Q collaborated on like 2 songs on the mixtape, and that was it. Same way Jay Dilla said.
Well,
Same way
here's
Jay
the
Dilla
thing.
said he made his beats, and
Well,
Q-Tip
well,
didn't
here's
make
the thing too. That's the same thing I was. That's the same thing I would say too, Tone. You ever get caught doing something, Tone, and you ever lie? Shit happens from time to time.
All it takes, if you are ready to believe one thing or the other, it takes, back to what I said, it only takes one to make you believe.
That's all I'm
what you
saying.
wanna believe.
I can't describe the whole person's career.
But
Totally understand. Totally understand. Totally understand.
Let me give y'all this one. Eric Sermon, one of the undisputed GOAT hip hop producers, says himself, Rockwilder did the Reservoir Dogs beat.
Yeah.
Eric Sermon is listed as the producer. He didn't print it. He's saying it though. He said it himself. Rockwilder did the beat. Is he a liar too? He's not a producer no more.
Why did he let Rockwilder get credit for it then? Why he didn't give Rock the credit?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember that too.
Sound like money to me.
Listen, you gotta understand. These dudes all do
That's a jigger check.
Come on, let me say something real quick. This is the real thing in the industry, right? This is the real thing.
Totally understand.
Kill, you are the hip hop producer legend.
Purist. Yep.
No. You're the legend. You're the legendary hip hop producer, right? Hypothetically, you're the legendary hip hop producer. I am the upstart. I'm your man. I'm coming up under you.
Right.
Right? You're the legend, right? And you gotta remember the times are different. These are $50,000 bags, $100,000 checks that are being cut for placements.
Right.
Yeah. Why am I gonna go tell the label, give me the minimum $2,500? Well, you can go get 60 bands, give me half, and it's still more than what I'm gonna get myself.
Right.
That happened a lot.
Now,
There's much more value.
Now, let me reply to that. Now, what I can say is this. I don't know what I would do in that position with that bag. I always tell people that because a bag will change everything. The hip hop purist producer and me, I've told niggas, don't even give me records. My man Mills used to dig for Kanye and Tip and other people, and he'd be like, yo, Kill, I just got all these records. Yo, you want some samples? And I'd be like, nope, I don't want no samples. Because the way I was raised, right. Like I said, and again, so to answer your question, I would think I would be like, nah, because of integrity, because the way that I was raised.
I'm just talking about an industry guy in general.
No, I totally get it. I know how the game works, so I know that it happens. But like I said, that's why producers, right? It happens all the time. But guess what? But
call him a liar? Like I can't agree with that.
Well, I mean, I'm not.
I tell you this.
Here's the thing. There's a lot of niggas. You know how niggas start talking shit on their deathbed, like they start admitting this shit. I never heard that fucking story. That story wasn't out when that shit was banging in the clubs. I tell you that.
Of course.
Now why motherfuckers want to tell the truth 20 years later? I don't fucking know. Could have went to the grave with that shit. Maybe you wanted to clear your conscience. I don't fucking know.
Because Vlad is paying niggas in front of them drum sets. But listen, the truth of all this is is that a Scott Storch beat does not cost as much as a Dr. Dre beat. So a Quentin Miller rap is going to be much less expensive if it comes from Quentin Miller. But if that Quentin Miller rap makes it to Aubrey Graham, then that goddamn them both them niggas make some money on it. So that is the science of it.
And here's the thing. I think the difference for me is that you're in the industry. You know what I mean? For me, I'm not there. Like even doing the radio station shit, I was there in a place, but I've never. That's why I can only say I would hope I would. You know what I mean? Like I can't say for it because again, I've never had 60 bands staring in my face like that. But I think the thing is that like it's the hip hop industry and then it's the hip hop culture. And I think a lot of times I'm just talking about the culture part. So sometimes it's hard for me to dive into the industry part. And I think that's something that you and Tone do a good job of. You guys can play both sides. And not saying that in a negative way. It's actually a compliment that you guys can see it. Yeah, you guys can see it from an objective perspective. I'll be the first to admit I'm always going to be stuck on the culture side of the fence. You know what I mean?
So I'm in the studio sometimes talking to people.
Right.
Other cats on the phone, and I'm hearing.
Right, but that's why I'm saying.
People.
But that's why I'm saying
it's business.
But that's why I'm saying that you all can be objective like that. I think with me, I'm just so stuck in the hip hop culture standpoint of, like I said, I don't even want records. Don't even give me a record to sample because I don't want any. I never wanted anybody to ever come back and be like, I made that beat or I gave that record to Kill. So nobody has ever been in the studio with me making a beat. Rel, I think JR there hasn't been more than 5 people in 30 years who have been in the studio with me making a beat because I never wanted anybody to ever be like, I told Kill to turn up the snare. I told Kill to use that. Or I told Kill. So again, that's just the purest of me. Now, if I'm in the studio with Kendrick and motherfucking Thundercat come in and want to lay a bass line down, I'm sure I'm not going to be like, nope, don't lay no bass line down because I don't want you to get your credit. So again, if I shift my mindset to that, I'm sure with the bag in my face and Naomi in college and retirement coming up, Thundercat, do whatever the fuck you need to do, nigga. I don't give a fuck. Just give me the bag right now. You know, so again, I'll be the first to admit that I'm always thinking culture.
Now, the thing about that is I am too.
I know you are, but you can do both. But that's what I'm saying. You can see it. That's why I'm saying that you all have a perspective that I admit that I don't have. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. That's why, like, you know, I didn't want to belabor this because, again, I'm just so stuck on this side that I understand. But keep in mind, I understand what you're saying. Everything that you all are saying makes perfect sense. Come on, Kill. 2 songs to 1,000. You know what I mean? So it's all good. You know what I mean? So, you know, I totally get it. You know what I mean? Totally get it. Rel, give me something, bro. Man, or did you just go? I can't even fucking remember who went last.
Let me say
right, Tone, what you got? Tone, what you got?
So for me, and this is no disrespect to the MC because he's a great MC, but after this versus, when the hell did Jadakiss become a top 5 MC of all time? When did this narrative happen?
I can tell you 2 things. Can I do it first, Easy?
Go ahead.
You know what? No, you're a guest. No, you got it.
Now check this out though, right? This is the thing about Jadakiss. Jadakiss is still very, very visible right now. Still very, very visible. And he's from that era. Still raps very well.
He does.
Right?
Very well.
All those things combined with age, bro. These kids don't know everything that we know. It's all about who you're talking to, right? Kiss to me, bro, I stole Kiss flow more than any rapper. Like
I love Kiss.
I keep it funky. But my thing is this though, right? Like you gotta understand, bro. We're in a very spur of the moment thing, right? You got social media, everything. We're talking about everything in real time. Everything in real time. SGA is a top 5 point guard right now, all time, on Twitter.
No, all time.
You understand what I'm saying? This is the type of shit we deal with. You got to take shit like that with a grain of salt. Here's the thing. He's elite.
And here's the thing too.
Oh, he's not that high. We're being real.
Now here's the thing too. It's 2 things for me, Tone. It's one thing that I realized. You've got to talk your own shit. You know what I mean? This was one of the things about this. When Jay said, who's the best MC, Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas? In real life, I didn't know anybody having that conversation at that time. You know what I'm saying? Jay put himself into the mix. Guess what T.I. said? I'm the king of the South.
King of the
What the motherfuckers start saying, he's the king of the South. When
They
were
was
the
wrong.
Roots ever called? When were the Roots ever called legends? Never, until they start saying the legendary Roots crew.
And Lil Wayne
So then what
started saying greatest rapper alive.
Best rap alive.
So that's the thing right there. So number one, when
But I ain't
Kiss
talking about
started
kids
saying-
calling themselves that. I'm talking about
no. But when Kiss,
Kiss.
when Kiss started saying top 5 dead or alive, he started saying that.
It
He
might have
was saying
started.
that. He was saying that the Green Lantern tape, and I'll
Yeah.
give you the cherry on the
was.
motherfucking cake.
That was
The
a long
verse.
time ago too.
I was in New York when that verses happened. At fucking 8 o'clock, Kiss was a dope ass MC, and the Locks was maybe a top 25 group. By midnight in New York, the Locks was a top 3 group ever, and Kiss was the greatest MC of all fucking time.
Yep.
And
That's
then-
what I mean by there
When you
are
win a fight.
specific places. Like we said with Black Thought. Prior to that Funk Flex freestyle, Black Thought was slept on.
Underrated.
No, he almost had no features. After that freestyle, he was the GOAT. He's on everybody's album. So again,
And
like
guess what?
Easy is saying, in this moment, you can move. Like, I'll give you a great example of this too, because it happens with the school district. Back in my day, if I got an F the first quarter, it took me all fucking year to get that shit to a B, maybe to an A. And I had to bust my ass. I have kids now who will have an F the first quarter and have an A the second quarter. And I'm like, yo, how the fuck? How Sway?
Hey,
How did you
I-
jump up 4 grades in 1 quarter in 3 months? It used to take me the whole year to shift that grade. So we're just
Hey,
living in a
I got
time
a
where
question,
right
kid.
now you can switch. What's up?
Question real quick, and don't shout it out, but how many of the folks, just us 5, can offhand out of your mind right now remember Biggie's birthday?
March,
Right?
Isn't it March 9th? Or
No,
is that when he died?
Yes.
That
Okay.
so that is my point. The greatest rapper of all time died.
March 9th.
Everybody here remembers March 9th. The reason why people put Jadakiss top 5 dead or alive is because he said it. It's also the reason why we remember why when Big's death day is, because the greatest rapper of all time died on March 9th. It's why on the radio they play all them bunch of records and whatnot, because niggas be like, oh yeah, I know that from a record. And once a nigga say it on a record and it stick, niggas be like, oh yeah, that's what it is. That's just they committed, and then eventually you just start believing it. I think Jada is very dope. He's not in my.
You can act like when they
he's
know the
top
verses
five.
there, like they never seen a person know their own lyrics to their songs and perform. The shit that Locks did on the verses, if you go to any back then DMX concert or any dope MC concert, you saw that every night. It wasn't a
But it
what
was-
Locks did on the verses.
but here's the
It's just
thing,
them
here's the
said-
thing,
Be fair,
it's just
though.
That was
them
like-
that didn't know their own songs.
Yo,
Them
but
said
here's the
remember-
You remember he killed Fab too.
to be fair, Tone, to be fair, I believe that was only a thing because he pointed out that they were not rapping to
Or,
this shit.
right. I
That's
don't
true.
think anybody. Right.
That's
By
true.
him saying these niggas lip syncing, it made
Yeah.
everybody be like, "Oh shit, they are lip syncing."
Nah, that was clever,
Oh,
that was
and
real.
y'all know y'all rhymes.
That's
you know,
true.
so again, I think it's just one of those things where you gotta talk your shit. I gotta start saying Apartment 5B, the dopest hip hop podcast out in these streets.
That is
No,
what you.
I got
That is
right.
a fact.
I'm supposed
a
to
fact.
pitch that, you know. But a
Yeah.
lot of us, we don't talk our shit, and that's the thing. We have seen, like Fam just said, why is March 9th buried in my head? Because of the rhyme. You know what I mean? So if you get it in a rhyme, then it's like I don't know when he's born, but I know when he died. You know.
All
So
this is
again,
true, but Jadakiss is not top 5 MC of all time.
Why does
I
everyone say Eminem
I
murdered
completely
Jay-Z or
agree.
Renegade? Because Nas said it.
No.
Right.
I think that's a fact.
Yeah.
I'm
Jay's
sorry.
verse was
That is
nasty,
my-
though.
No,
I thought it was a fight. I don't think anyone
Yes.
was like, you know.
I
thought it was a
I
fight.
thought it was 3-0 clear. However,
If
I feel
Nas,
like-
if there's never no Nas and Jay-Z beef and that song came out, nobody would have said Jay got watched though.
probably not.
It all comes down to like content. What you looking for? Because the way Eminem rode the beat was spectacular.
Oh no, he rolled the damn beat.
And the wordplay was crazy.
Well, the bars were good too, but I just feel like the shit Jay was saying speaks to me more. That's all.
That's
yeah,
Listen,
I think that's what it's
all
about. It's
this
about
is-
what speaks to you.
Yeah,
But
all
then
this
it's
is
also,
They both
it's
got this.
also,
Hell
but it's
yeah.
also about when
Bush
Jay
had the best
said,
verse of all time,
What?
but that's neither here nor there.
One hot album every
What?
10-year average.
that's the thing. Like once you say it, it's kind of like we pick up on it, and it's like, yeah, Nas only got one. It's almost like hypnotizing you, almost. Like in certain ways, that's what's happening. You think about it, you listen to a song over and over and over, you hear that. So it's like that's the thing. Like it literally is like some type hypnotist. Yeah, go ahead.
That Rick Ross catalog not dope.
Who said that?
That's crazy to me.
So when I did I did T.I. catalog versus Rick Ross catalog just for good conversation a few days ago.
Give me Ross.
And I saw so many people like, yeah, well, Ross catalog trash. And I'm like, nigga. So you talking about Teflon Don, Deeper Than Rap, Rich Forever?
But you know what it is? It goes back to what Rel was saying about 2 to 3 years can shift everything. Because there was a time when Ross was the hottest MC.
Absolutely.
Now, right now, he's not that. So
well, 2 stingers in a row will get you.
Yeah, so you got to understand that's that piece right there.
A lot of people did say he had an amazing catalog, but I'm just talking about for the ones that was like, his shit
here's the thing. Good. The thing with Ross was he picks the dopest beat. That used to be the hit on Nas. Prior to the KD lineup, it was, man, Nas should have Rick Ross executive producers out because Rick Ross picked all the dope beats. So there was that narrative for a while, but now after Hit Boy, now don't nobody say nothing about Nas picking beats no more. So it really is just about how you can erase what people are saying about you. You know, so again, 3-4 years ago, Ross was the man. I mean, you wanted a Ross feature on everything. You know what I mean?
Outside Ross again, you go back to people being lazy. You go back to people being lazy. Like, look at his discography. What's weak about that shit?
Ross's verse on Kanye's "Devil in a Blue Dress" in a New Dress. That shit may be my favorite. Ross, I mean, crazy. I remember when Puff was trying. I remember, Puff always trying to replace Big. He was trying to sign Ross and Nicki Minaj. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
right. But those are the things that, like, that's how it is. Real quick, I'm gonna run through a couple. Here's one of the ones that killed me. Beastie Boys weren't hip hop. And I'm always like, that's just on some.
You saw that? You saw the Beastie Boys. Right?
That's just racist.
The Beastie Boys was hip hop. MC Hammer was the West Coast version of Heavy D. No. My freestyle. Then somebody said my freestyle.
Heavy D could really rap though. But go ahead.
But I can see it. They was dancing. It was popular.
Yeah, I can see.
But Hev could rap. Only 3 Gangstar songs lasted the test of time. Ice Cube's Natural Born Killers is the dopest beat ever. Shook Ones transcended generations, unlike anything PE, Wu-Tang, Top Villain on the Bridge ever did.
The first part's right. The first part is right.
Tupac was an actor who rapped. That is at MERBABE71. LL didn't have range. KRS was never nice. Can't remember one quotable. That was Gutter Sniper Inc. And then Fab is doper than LL. So those are some of the joints I had left. So again, you could say bad takes. I always say it's like, yo, come on. I get it that we all have our opinions, but I do think
LL ain't got no range. I just can't get that.
I feel like that's, and I'm. Listen,
and as you can see, just on my list alone, there were 4 LL ones. So LL is one of those people who the social media does not clamor around LL, which makes me just say we got to just show L more love. Because this is what I think we can do, y'all.
Here's the thing, Kill. I think you get so many takes on a nigga like LL. I am not the hugest anything after Mr. Smith, I look at with a side eye. It's some dope stuff in there. But here's the thing about LL. LL has maybe the biggest sample size in rap history. I don't know if anybody's catalog, you talked about Test of Time, so many records, but there's so many touch points. So depending on where you met LL, that could be your truth specifically. And I think that's the kind of the thing with all these things, is that like whatever your purview is, where you're from, how old you are, what your access is, who you know, what you know, is always going to determine what you end up getting to when it comes specifically to hip hop, right? And that's going to set whatever your opinion is. So if your first like 5 LL records aren't great, you gonna be like, oh, that nigga LL whack. Even though you don't have the, because your first 5 touch points.
Like then, like Easy said, go do your research.
Right, but see, this is the thing is,
that's-
who keeps looking after the first 5 whack records? I'm just saying, whatever your touch point is, it's hard to just say, oh, you got to keep researching because you never gonna hear all of it. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Is Curious. Niggas don't know Curious, and if you ain't heard Walk Like a Duck and a Constipated Monkey, niggas, when I say a Constipated Monkey, niggas will look at me crazy. But then you hear the album, you're like, oh, all right, that's dope. But I can't never blame a nigga for never hearing it if it wasn't. It's hard to get to some of that stuff.
I blame if they don't go back and do the knowledge. If you saying you're a hip hop head, if you saying you're hip hop,
here's the thing. Here's the thing that I do see what Fam is saying from a standpoint. If I hear an MC, so if I'm catching L on his album before this LL one and it's whack, what would make me go back and listen to, if the first thing I hear from you is whack, what would make me want to go back? It's usually I gotta hear something dope. I gotta hear something dope. Then that is what makes me go back. All right, what you got?
I'm gonna tell you what makes you go back is when you have conversations with people like us, and we say, nah, LL Cool J was him. If you have the desire to learn more, you go back.
And that, that goes back to why I was saying us old heads have to present a space, because what you just said is when you're talking to people like us. But when are these young niggas talking to people like us? So when people be like, "Kill, man, you got the patience of Job. You be talking to these people all day," because I'm trying to school them. That's what I'm trying to do.
They want to talk to us though too. They have to
right. I totally agree. But that's the thing but we've got to provide spaces. What Tone does with Enter the Dome and that time in hip hop with Vague, E, with what you're doing with your music, you know, Brel, what you're doing with your music, Fam, what you was doing with the Buffy and everything. We were trying to provide those spaces.
And there are some young dudes that really be, you know what I'm saying, out here doing knowledge.
No, they do. I got a lot of young boys that I'm actually surprised. I got probably more younger niggas following me than older niggas. But or I won't say follow me, but asking questions, and I love it. And I mean, I think that's the thing. So we've just got to provide the space, because that space isn't in their cities anymore. I don't know what it's like, Rel in Philly. There's not too many hip hop spots like that no more. Maybe there's a show at the Howard Theater, and then you go to the show and then you go home. There's no after. So I don't know where people click up, where you at Easy or where you at Tone and Fam in Baltimore. I don't know if there's any spots where you can school a young boy to that. So that's why the great thing about the internet is we have these platforms to be able to school people and stuff like that. So again, Easy, I'm still with you. Fuck them kids, but I can understand what Fam said. That I get it, because the thing is okay, cool. Maybe you didn't catch EP. Maybe you didn't get the EPMD till their third album, but the third album was so dope, so it made me want to go back and listen to their first two. But if I got the, you got it.
Check this out though, real quick. You have the platform, right? You have an Apartment 5B, right? But these kids, they have the attention span is non-existent. We're 2 hours into this podcast right now. You think they're gonna watch this whole thing?
Nah.
You think kids these days didn't watch 2 hours? It's gonna be 2.5 at least when we're done.
But
you're absolutely right.
But Easy, the answer to that is if we who have learned to love culture, because these niggas in the last 15, 20 years ain't learned to love culture. They like rap songs.
Yes.
If we love culture, it is our job to give these niggas we have to give it to them how they're receiving. And what I mean is, if we have to break these facts down into 15, 30 second clips, 1 minute clips, and give it to them that way, that is our responsibility to push our culture forward, because it falls on us, because I believe that we are the last generation of heads that treat hip hop as a culture. Everybody else likes songs on the radio.
It's a good damn point, man.
I'm gonna say one more thing to that, right? Being a hip hop fan has become a trend. A lot of these kids, they only like it because it's cool. It's the cool thing to do. Listen, you can't watch a commercial. You can't watch a game without the halftime show. Hip hop is everywhere. It's everywhere. The influence is everywhere. So it's become a trend. It's just a cool thing to do. They don't love this shit, bro. They don't care about it.
Right. But keep in mind, E, that again, the same could be said to people in the 90s. Because like I said, everybody on Morgan's campus like listening to hip hop. But then when niggas graduated, got married and everything, it's like, okay, they're no longer checking for hip hop.
But y'all was saying the same thing though, Kill, because that means they was in college. It was a cool thing to do. When they left,
that's what I was saying.
They fucking love it like we did.
Right.
We loved it the same way it was in school.
But that was the thing. The reason why I love doing these podcasts was because you leave college, you get a job, you have kids, you get married. How often do I get to chop it up with my friends about hip hop? E, you in the streets promoting stuff, so maybe it's different for you because you're around a lot. But the average 45-plus-year-old black man does not have anywhere to discuss hip hop anymore with his friends or have these conversations.
The barbershop and shit.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So we do have to provide that space. And fam, you brought up a great point where, like you said, if you're catching somebody at the end of their career, because maybe if I catch EPMD on that their seventh album after the breakup, and that's the first time I heard these niggas, I have no urge to go back and listen to what they did. I don't even know what album that is.
You talking about Back in Business?
No.
I love Back in Business.
No. There's like another one. There's two more after Back in Business. Like there was a week business and business never business. So like that's the thing. So I understand what you were saying. Yeah. E, talk about all your shit. Talk about that Good Dad Club. Talk about everything you got going on, bro.
Can I say one more thing about that though? Too?
Yeah.
That the thing is too is that we've become so far detached from those times that these kids are listening to. It's hard for a kid to listen to an album from '88 in 2025 because they're listening to it through a 2025 filter.
Right.
And nothing that they're hearing now sounds like it. So they're gonna automatically hate it. You know? It's almost like you have to grow up with it in the house. Otherwise you don't fuck with it.
You know what? It's almost like you have to grow up with it. But one of the things that I can say is from like teaching Naomi about music. Like I was with her the other day and we were just going through Primo's bag. And I'm like, I'm playing her Living Proof and I'm playing her Come Clean. And I mean, she's not loving it, but I'm also explaining to her why this song was so incredible. Like, you know, I'm like, this Come Clean, oh my God, we thought he sampled it off the pipes in the house and all of this. And she's laughing and she's like, so it's almost like, it's the same way like with working with my kids. You got to make the shit fun. You know, like you can't just be like, sit down, little nigga, motherfucker, Riz is the best. That's why, motherfucker. No, you got to be like, yo, man, we used to watch karate movies and RZA was the first to bring karate movies. So I'm like, we gonna sit down and watch 5 Deadly Venom. So it has to be like, you know, taking the time to like, really, you can't just be like, listen, you got to make this shit fun and be like, yo, we gonna watch 5 Deadly Venoms. Then I'm gonna play you Protect the Neck. Or this is what I did with Nate. We was watching the Wu series and it was around the same time, rest in peace to Sasha Jenkins, who had done the Showtime joint on the Wu. So she watched the first season, then we watched the Wu, and it was so dope to see because Naomi would be like, okay, which one is Dennis? And I'm like, fuck are you talking about? I'm like, oh shit, you don't know him as Ghostface, you know him as Dennis. So it's like, right. So it was like trying to make it fun. So it was like, yo, we gonna watch this and we gonna watch that. And I'm like, who you think Ray? She was like, and she loved to get down. And, you know, Shaolin Fantastic played Ray. So again, it's just making the shit fun. And I mean, that's the difference. Like, our generation, like you said, fam, it may have just been like, yo, listen to Strictly Hip Hop every night. Just pay attention. You can't do that no more. It's like, how are you gonna make this fun to the kids?
Hell, you gotta do one thing though. Whenever you take Nate back to that Primo bag, you gotta show her the Nothing to Like video.
The what?
Nothing to Like. My joint with Primo. You gotta be like, that's the light nigga from my podcast with man.
Light skin, yo, that's my man.
Oh yeah. But I mean, I think, but for real, I think that's what, because you're 100% right. From a 2025 mindset, taking them back to Strictly Business. But it's like, yo, and I don't know if y'all I used to do these things with Nay, and I used to call him the front seat. When she was old enough to start riding up the front, I would be like, yo, I'm gonna play you a song. So I play it like Strictly Business. I'd be like, yo, this is why it was so dope. Yo, these niggas was the first ones to be using their real names, and Paris Smith and Eric Sermon, and yo, this fucking I Shot the Sheriff by Eric Clapton. And she's like, Eric Clapton, white boy? I'm like, yeah. Then we go down to Eric Clapton. So again, it's just, we just got to try to make it fun for these kids. And E, you just made up a good point of what I thought. Maybe I do need to start chopping these podcasts up and just give them little 10-minute blurbs real quick. You know what I mean? Because you're right. No 25-year-old is gonna watch 2 hours. People tell me all the time, Kill, you shooting yourself in the foot making your podcast 2 hours. And I'm like, it just is what the fuck it is. My goal is to educate. So I'm not gonna try to educate you in a half hour and half-ass it. You know what I mean? But that's a great point. Huh?
Can't do it in a half hour.
Nah,
right.
You know, I always say do some sports sometimes. That's part of the conversation. All
right. So like if I chop up everything we talked about LL and make that a 10-minute short, maybe that'll be enough to go back. So again, like great point, E, because you're 100% right. If my goal is to reach these younger people, it's not by having a 2-hour podcast. That's not going to reach them. So great point on that. So yeah, dope. Ease, talk about what you got going on, man. Talk your shit, man.
I'm at Easy Money ST everywhere. Drug Money album with my dog Finelli is out now. You know what I mean? Tap into my to the catalog. I got a lot of joints out there, man. Check out the Disrespect Radio freestyle with my dog Nems. That's on YouTube. Yeah, man. That's it.
And I will say this. I always tell people all the time, this nigga is one of the very few niggas who can rap his ass off and sing his ass off too. You know what I mean? Because he does have a singing album too out there. You know what I mean?
That was my secret. Before I put that R&B EP out, that was my secret weapon. But cat's out the bag now.
Yeah, talented dude for sure. Talented dude for sure.
Thank you, Tone. Thank you.
Thanks.
No doubt. Tone, talk your shit, bro. Where can I get at you?
Just keep it simple, man. Tone the Dome on X, man. The Dome Podcast, YouTube. You know, holler at me.
All right, Rel, where can I get at you, bro?
Uptown Rel 215 on the gram. J Ben 215 on Twitter. Go Birds.
There you go. Yeah, I love that face, fam.
That's how you know. That's how I'm supposed to. That's what I'm supposed to follow. Goldberg.
Go
You
Bird.
in the Super Bowl, man.
Know what it is.
Hey, man. Hey, fam. Talk your black wrestling shit.
Hey, listen, man.
And we got to get another episode. I don't want to interrupt you. We got to get another episode. Rel, we got to do Philadelphia Steak Life in Baltimore. So we got to get that day.
Let's go to Frank's.
I do want to try Frank's Pizza. Have you had it before?
Nah, I'm hearing about it. So let's fuck with it.
All right. Now, fam, go ahead. Fam, go do your thing.
Hey, IlFam790, your social media choice. At IlFam790, your social media choice. At Black Wrestling on all social media. IlFam790, your social media choice. Captain Bro, Battle, Brew Diamond, Phillips, Sticky, the Dragons, Devo, Podcast, Pod, God's favorite podcast, Potty Pipe. I'm in the podcast, Chew Bubblegum, and I'm all out of Ventine Ice. But listen, I do have one point I have to refute. Kill said he had the patience of Job today. We talked about Googling people's timeline. I want y'all to Google @Kill88 and then the phrase, "Excuse me, good brother." And then talk to me about patience. I've seen you eviscerate.
Yeah.
Hey, quick question, bro. Quick question. What belt is that back? Is that the world TV title or the Intercontinental title? What you got back there?
That is a custom.
Yo,
that joint look dope, man.
That is a custom Black Wrestling podcast.
All right.
Okay. You know what I mean?
Yo, fam.
Oh, I see you.
You already know. Nothing for you, Tone.
I got you, Playboy.
I'm a wrestling guy, bro. I'm a wrestling guy.
Then that's your guy right there. That's it.
You listen.
That's for real. I used to go to the Great American Bash and everything.
We have the our yearly top 50. We do a yearly list. This will be our 7th annual Black Wrestling BRP 50 top Black pro wrestlers in the world. This is Indies, AEW, WWE coming out on Juneteenth. Everybody will argue no, Swerve will not make the list because he asked not to. No, Moose will not make the list because he asked not to. But we will be talking all of this crazy wrestling, and we will argue, we will defend, and my @ and DMs are open.
There you go. Like I said, if you rock with wrestling, that's the guy right there to follow. Fam, if back when I was 12 years old, I would have gave a kidney to have that belt. I used to make belts. I used to get up old belt and get cardboard and the TV title. The TV title was my favorite title, man, because I love the NBC.
Tully Blanchard.
You know what I mean? Tully Blanchard.
Now my daughter wrestle and she's a racist.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, there we go. Okay. Yeah, well, okay. Mic drop. All right, y'all already know this is with me, Kill889, Twitter, IG. I'm going to try to find one of I'm going to learn how to do that shit like fam, because that nigga be doing it so effortlessly. Like, you know what I mean? With that, I'm brand out of bubblegum shit. I got to find some shit like that. I'm going to do that shit. All right, y'all. I'm going to check y'all next week, man.